again this week. Also, a $50 gift card to Islands. Okay, so if you want fine burgers and drinks, we're talking about their famous Mai Tais, those fresh cut fries, the burgers that you desire. We're going to send you to Islands. Whew. It's my home for college basketball during the month of March. I can tell you that much. Read between the lines, people. There's a lot going on. So listen, there are times in sport where you hear things and you go, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. We had one of those times yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Shohei Ohtani went in front of a crowded interview room in the bowels of Dodger Stadium, and he delivered an address to the multiple reporters and members of the media through his new interpreter, who also serves a different role with the Dodgers. So I think we can trust this one. I hope we can trust this one. I don't.
Look, he said he worked at Riverside Community College.
So we trust him.
Yeah.
Well, so this new interpreter, I believe he's the performance operator, operations performance manager. So he has some sort of other label with the Dodgers, but he's bilingual. He can speak both Japanese and English. Maybe he knows other languages too. I don't know. But for 12 minutes, he sat next to Shohei as he delivered a statement, both written and seemingly extemporaneous, as he was talking about Ippei Mitsuhara, which was obviously the former interpreter who's been alleged to have gambled away untold amounts of money, but namely the $4.5 million that was transferred from ever on sports. Shohei denied having any knowledge as to what Ippei was up to. These are all revelations to Shohei as far as what he told the media. So I'm going to start by asking TD and Fletch independently, and then we'll all talk about this together. But first, TD, do you believe anything he said yesterday?
No,
Okay.
nothing. I mean, look, it's either one or the other. Either you come out and say exactly what he said yesterday, or you probably tell the truth, and then you don't play baseball anymore. So, I mean, that's kind of where it stands. Okay. You want that $700 million? You better start lying, buddy.
Okay. Fletch, do you believe anything that Shohei said yesterday?
There's this great scene in South Park, and Jim Russell actually put a YouTube link out to it last night, but it was the first thing that went through my head. And it's a scene where one of the adults in South Park actually picks up Eric Cartman and throws him under a literal bus. And it's all a metaphor about something bigger that's happening in the town of South Park. But I thought the entire time yesterday, Shohei Ohtani was taking his interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, and literally picking him up off the sidewalk in South Park, Colorado, and throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
Because of everything TD just said. Look at what Shohei has to gain in the long run. I'm not even convinced that there's not some sort of deal with Ippei Mitsuhara of Shohei saying, hey, look, man, if you take this fall for me, I will take care of you, your family, whoever, for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, Rich, you brought this up yesterday of a guy who is not making Shohei kind of money. How do you rack up $4.5 million? So I thought, I wonder how much he makes. Apparently, Mitsuhara told ESPN he's been paid between $300,000 and $500,000 annually. So what betting outlet is going to take a 10 to 15 year amount salary as a debt? I mean, there's no way.
No. And also, even if you were going to guess high on how much Ippei Mitsuhara was being paid by the Dodgers,
like $1 million,
or the Angels, because obviously
right.
He only worked for the Dodgers for a very short time. But yeah, like say you were saying it's 7 figures. This guy's making $1 million a year because he's working with one of the most famous ball players on the planet. And then even maybe he's getting tipped by, other people, Shohei or family members, whatever. So maybe he's making a cool mill. We're talking about then 5 years worth of his salary in gambling debts. It just doesn't make sense. You would not cash roll a person that kind of money. You would never allow somebody to leverage themselves that much unless it appeared that they had a never-ending pool of money to draw from, which enters Shohei Ohtani's bank account. Now, okay, I'm going to let you guys in on something because as an NFL player, obviously, you make a lot of money in a very short amount of time, and there are
rich.
There are a lot of people who made a lot more money than me. but I can promise you, even those in the locker room who are making tens of millions of dollars a year, as opposed to me making more like hundreds of million or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Go on.
Those people would notice if millions of dollars were missing from account, or
Right.
the financial advisors that are surrounding those players would notice, or the business managers, or potentially the publicists. Like, somebody else has their eye on the situation where they say, yeah, you know what? There are so many inconsistencies here. Where is all this money going? He would have, this cannot possibly, again, this is Rich Orenberger's opinion. This is pure speculation on my behalf. It cannot be possible that Shohei Ohtani found out about these gambling debts being removed from his bank account, just like all of us.
Right. Also, the problem we have is the stories from Shohei are conflicting.
Yeah.
So you have Shohei Ohtani, who initially said that, well, Shohei Ohtani's camp, I guess I should say. I don't think it was Shohei, who said, oh, yeah, he saw that there was transactions being taken out of his bank account that he didn't authorize. So that alerted a red flag. He then had to track that down. Then he went to his interpreter. His interpreter said, oh, yeah, that was me. By the way, can you pay this $4.5 million? And he said, sure. But then when you go to Mitsuhara's account, which he told ESPN before anybody got involved here, he said, yeah, I just went to him and said, hey, can you pay this gambling debt I have? It's just a cool $4.5 million. And Shohei's like, I guess.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, here's the deal. Shohei Ohtani is either lying or he is the most gullible human being on planet Earth.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
And either way, it's a little bit of a red flag because obviously when you're dealing with somebody this naive, you're going to have to be careful with him because he could be taken advantage again in the future. You know, so if I'm the Dodgers and I'm learning that Shohei Ohtani was taken for $4.5 million by his interpreter, I've got to now, in my opinion, if I'm Dave Roberts, if I'm the general manager, Friedman, if I'm the owner of this team, I have to make sure that this guy's taken care of, that his camp, he's surrounded by good people because we're staking our future on his future. So I got to make sure that I'm helping him take care of himself. Now, this whole Shohei doesn't like to expose anybody to his personal life, this whole, very clouded in secrecy thing. We didn't find out that he had a dog until like year 6 in the Major League Baseball. We didn't find out that he was married until
we should have known if he had a dog. You got to tell us, Shohei.
We didn't even know he had a wife until like all of a sudden he was married to her and then she showed up for the first time in Korea. So we're like, oh, okay, I guess yes. So this guy has been very mysterious to all of us, at least in the United States. I assume the same in Japan, a very private life. But as we're learning more and more about what's happening, again, either he's the most gullible human being on the planet and he's naive and he's maybe too trusting, or he's lying to all of us.
Mm-hmm. Is there if he came out and said, yeah, I was gambling, it was me, and they fired him, you're gone, you're done, you're not making the $700 million. Does that, for either of you, Fletch, Rich, does that make you go, oh, I'm not watching baseball?
No.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So if baseball is trying to mask this to save him, you're not doing yourself any favors. I mean, it's almost worse.
But baseball needs to keep him around. And I think that's the part of this that's going to be kind of icky, because we can sit here and say, yeah, I didn't trust a word he said yesterday, and I really didn't. But it wasn't enough for Major League Baseball to be like, okay, case closed. We're all good. Shohei, you did nothing wrong.
Well,
Thank you. I'm sorry this happened to you.
That's what they want to do. I mean, that's what they want to happen.
I'm so curious where this ends up going, because LeVar Arrington brought this up this morning on Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. It's like, even LeVar Arrington, who obviously has not made close to the amount of money Shohei Ohtani has made. You could say that about anybody in this country, but LeVar Arrington has a pretty good chunk of change from his time in the NFL, from stuff he's done after his career. And he was saying if his wife goes on like a shopping spree and buys an expensive bag, his bank is on the phone with him immediately saying, hey, this is a pretty big transaction. What's going on here? Is this okay? Was this you? Are you good? He's like, how can, like, because apparently it was increments of like $500,000 that just went missing from Shohei's account. How can that happen with Shohei Ohtani not knowing?
So just 1 year salary at a time for the interpreter. No problem.
It's bizarre, man.
Problem.
Yeah.
This whole thing is bizarre. And usually in sports, in life, when something stinks like fish, it's something fishy is happening.
Yeah. Well, look, when there's smoke, there's fire a lot of the times. Now, sometimes when there's smoke, it's a delicious barbecue, and you're like, oh, I completely misjudged this. This is actually wonderful. We're having some ribs. But a lot of time, most of the time, when you smell smoke, you're like, nah, this doesn't smell like a delicious barbecue. This smells like, I don't know, like burning plastic. It smells like rubber on fire. It smells like it smells like a structure fire. It smells like somebody should call the fire engines, and we should get the hook and ladder truck out here. Then usually it's a disaster. It looks to me like there is smoke billowing in the very near distance. And you're sitting in your front yard going, I think somebody's house is on fire. And all it's going to take is walking down the block and turning left, and then you're going to see a blazing inferno. All MLB has to do, I don't know if there's going to be federal investigators looking into Shohei Ohtani.
There's got to be.
I would assume so. But all anybody has to do is walk 5 houses down and turn the corner, and you're going to find out something that maybe Major League Baseball doesn't want to find out. And by the way, you have now the nation's attention. Mm-hmm. So there are going to be reporter after reporter after reporter pouring over the facts that are available to the public and some that aren't. And there will be more revelations to this story, I promise you. This isn't going to end with, yeah, hi, my name is Shohei. I know I haven't told you guys a lot about myself over the past 6 years, but I've been swindled. Thank you. Good night. Like, and now everybody's not going to go, thank you, Shohei. Thank you. It's going to be, yeah, okay, but maybe there's more to this story. We're all going to check into it.
And how many hungry journalists are out there waiting for their big break? And if they can find credible information on this case, like this is going to make their entire career. Now,
buddy, not just the guy who's trying to make his bones as a reporter. How about the person who's been 25 years on the job as an investigative reporter at any news outlet, not just sports, but also like actual news, who's thinking to themselves, this will be another feather in my cap if I break the Shohei Ohtani case?
Yeah.
Give me
I
a
mean,
break.
And how great would it be if the interpreter had to get up there and say, I apologize. I have been swindled. Do we have the audio?
We do.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys want to hear that?
Yeah. This is Shohei Ohtani speaking through his new interpreter. We cut out obviously the Japanese part of the audio here. We're just giving you the interpreter, but these are Shohei's words as he was speaking through a new interpreter in the Dodgers LA interview room.
The end.
Yeah, and guess what? All of that is true. And I'll tell you why all that's true.
I know.
Because he never bet on sports. He never gave money to a sports book.
Yeah.
Because when you have a go-between doing your bidding for you, who's willing to potentially take the fall, all obviously speculation here, well, then you don't ever have to do those things. So he didn't lie. Yes. And here's the thing. He's trying to paint the picture that this is the first that he heard of this. He's trying to will all of us to believe that the first time he found out that Ippei Mitsuhara was racking up the sizable gambling debts using Shohei's money was over this weekend, like
right.
or I guess over the last 7 days. Like this was all revelatory for Shohei Ohtani as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy any of this.
Yeah.
It would be a better story for me if he did come and say, yeah, look, he's my buddy. He came to me and said, can you pay off this debt? And I said, what the hell are you doing? yes, I'll pay off this debt for you. We got to go figure this out. And now we're in this position. I mean, this is insane to me.
Dude, okay. I just don't listen. I don't know what I was expecting, but here's what I know what I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting him to speak on this. I wasn't expecting to hear from Shohei Ohtani. I'm not even sure 100% why he spoke because to me, I don't know this does him any favors. In fact,
No.
hearing from him or from him through his interpreter, it only furthers my speculation that he had more involvement in this. Now, if he gave us more details to this, where he said, "So here's how it all unfolded, and here's the reasons why I didn't know that this money was being funneled out of my account," and he made some sense of this for us, I would say, "Oh wow!" So in trying to clear this up, he gave us more to the story, and so it's easier for us to connect the dots of how somebody in his position had millions of dollars taken from him without his knowledge. Okay, so I can connect that dot to that dot, this dot to that dot to this dot. Oh, okay, thank you, Shohei. Yeah, now this all makes more sense.
Yeah.
If anything, he's just regurgitating things that we already know and making himself sound more guilty by avoiding putting his words on anything or adding any more context to the story whatsoever.
But you said you did. Like, oh, am I wrong on that? Didn't he say he did this already?
Well, yeah, his spokesperson came out.
No, he did say it.
Again, so this is all a weird situation because everybody is speaking for Shohei Ohtani. And by the way, apparently Shohei knows some English, but every time he speaks to the media, he speaks through an interpreter. And I also, especially in this case, I also don't think that isn't for effect as well, because maybe if anything goes wrong here, they can double back and say, hey, you know, some things got lost in translation. Shohei said a lot of things and maybe it wasn't quite clear. So we're going to revisit. Like there's all of this plausible deniability because he never speaks for himself.
Well, yeah, and yeah, lost in translation is exactly it. That I do think that they will fall back on if this thing blows up. So, but I don't know how you're going to spin this. He thought he said bet, but he really meant to say, can you set $4.5 million over there? I have no idea. I mean, it's bizarre to me. I think he did himself no favors coming out and speaking.
Now, this has brought back many, many memories of baseball past where we obviously have had instances of gambling and punishment. And Pete Rose is the person that everybody keeps turning to. And guess what? Charlie Hustle himself has spoken out. So I found this on social media. I think we all discussed this yesterday a little bit on the group text, and then you texted the actual video to all of us, and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I would say if I'm Pete Rose. But here's Pete Rose, his reaction to what all has happened with Shohei over the past week.
As he's got a whiskey in his hand.
Yeah, it looks like he's at a sports book too.
Yeah,
I don't know if he is. It just that's the typical look of one.
Dude, I love him. I love this. I mean, I love him just because of the no filter effort, and he is saying what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's saying what I'm thinking.
And of all the people who are held out of Major League Baseball from the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose feels like the dumbest one to me.
Well, he's the hit king. I mean, you can't rewrite history. The guy has hit more baseballs than any human being.
It's like between him and Barry Bonds. I'm like, what are we doing?
It doesn't make any sense. Now, they said he bet on baseball, and that's the reason why he's banned from the Hall of Fame, banned from baseball altogether. Okay. All right. If you're going to draw that distinction, what happens if ... it's found that Ipe Mitsuhara did place bets on baseball. That this thief, okay, by the way, he's being accused of being a thief. So this alleged thief of millions of dollars is being honest about one thing and one thing only. Never bet on baseball.
Right. So,
but what happens if that happens and all of a sudden Shohei Ohtani's former friend and interpreter spent his money betting on baseball? Are we all supposed to go, oh, poor Shohei? Okie dokie.
This is TD's, like, his classic argument. Who brings in more money to the league? Shohei Ohtani brings so much money into the league from outside the United States.
Well, that's
a market that hasn't really been tapped by Major League Baseball.
There it is.
Argument with everything, man. Follow the money. Follow the money.
If Taylor Swift all of a sudden was in some sort of scandal, the NFL would probably try to cover it up because Taylor Swift brought in a whole new audience that they never had before.
Well, they don't want to paint her in a bad light. If Taylor Swift paints herself in a bad light, that's on them. But the NFL's not gonna.
Well, but here's the thing: different kind of situation. The NFL would dump Taylor Swift. They would, because Taylor Swift doesn't belong to the NFL. Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift is her own machine.
Right.
So if there was a scandal and it was bad enough with Taylor Swift, the NFL would be like, that's not our problem. See ya.
Let's find another pop star to get the 16-year-old girl still watching.
But this is Major League Baseball's problem. He has a $700 million contract coming to him via Major League Baseball team. This is very much so a sports league's issue.
What does this do to the clubhouse? Like, Rich, I don't know if you've been on a team that had huge scandal rocking it. I mean, you were on the Patriots. Was this before Deflategate and everything?
I was after Spygate too.
Okay, so but like everybody in the locker or in the clubhouse of the Dodgers is going to be asked questions about this probably all year long until we get some sort of conclusion. What does this do to like the fabric of a team?
Well, it depends on how big it gets and how destructive of a force it becomes in terms of like, I don't think it's going to really put sides up between players who believe Shohei or not. I think the truth obviously will come out eventually, and it's going to have a dramatic effect on their season.
Do you think Shohei has a big presence in the locker room?
See, that's the thing too.
My guess would be no.
Yeah,
just due to a language barrier.
Right. I think probably not. I would assume that
but Ha-Seong Kim has a huge presence in the Padres clubhouse.
Yeah, but Ha-Seong Kim is like a party starter almost. Like Shohei is this shy guy who, like I said, you didn't even know he had a wife until like 3 weeks ago, and the first time we ever saw this significant other was a week ago. And by the way, it's not like he just met her too. Unless he did. I don't know. I don't know what to believe with Shohei Ohtani anymore because I'm not sure I can believe anything I've heard after hearing him speak through an interpreter about his former interpreter spending his money to place bets. I don't know.
This probably has nothing to do with anything, but did you guys notice in the video of the press conference yesterday, like the interpreter was writing stuff down super quick?
Yeah.
Did he not have a copy of the speech already?
Well, see, that's the other thing is, again, I think this only helps Shohei. If Shohei never says a single word publicly to anybody about this instance, there's always a filter that his words are going through. So I don't know if that helps him in the court of law, if this becomes that big of an issue where he has to defend himself in a court of law or in a civil suit of some sort. I don't know. But maybe there's a reason, there's a method to that madness. Why maybe he didn't share his speech with his interpreter because he wants everything to go through that filter.
This is a play on words. Everything is so on purpose. I don't buy it all or any of it really. Lance Armstrong, you remember a couple months ago, came out and he said, "Yeah, look, I mean, I was very careful with my words to say I was never caught doing any drugs or I never had any positive test," meaning he was able to skate around him the whole time. So he was very careful with his words.
Yeah.
And Barry Bonds never had a positive test either.
There you go.
And by the way, like, that all was spoken about in those terms. It's like, well, I never popped for anything. So how could you charge me of anything? I'm guiltless in all of this. All right. Coming up next, we'll steer away from baseball for a second. We'll get to how to make a game much worse. You do this. We'll explain what this is on the other side. But first, how do you make a body look much better?
SD Fat Loss.
You do that.
Yeah, you do SDFatLoss.com. The healthy way to lose weight fast. The natural way to lose weight fast. No drugs, no injections, no fad diet. You're not counting calories or counting points or exercising. You're just losing weight the correct way by putting the right fuel, the right food in your body, and the right amount of it.
Yeah, listen, everybody on the free iHeartRadio app right now, this is what I want you to do. Or if you're listening in the car on the radio or at home on the radio, I want you to pick up your phone. I want you to write sdfatloss.com into the search browser, go to the website, and start to do what we did, which is connect with these great people, Wayne and Chloe, because they guided us on our path to weight loss.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. If you're trying to do one of these fad diets, you probably lose weight, but as soon as you stop, you'll gain the weight right back and then some. But with SD Fat Loss, like you said, Rich, they guide you through it. They tailor make a diet plan for you so you can lose weight fast, but then most importantly, keep that weight off. So go there right now. Like Rich said, sdfatloss.com. The consultation is absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can talk to Wayne and Chloe. They will, they'll tell you exactly what to expect. And then if you go, you know what, I'm good, let's rock and roll, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight. You're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks time. For me, 31 pounds. Rich was 35. Fletch pushing 50 pounds gone. And then we're keeping that weight off. We want you to do the same thing. It will change your life. I promise you, you're going to feel 1,000,000 times better. You're going to be able to move around better. You're going to sleep better. The aches and pains are going to go away because you're going to lose that unwanted weight that you've been carrying around, lugging around on your body. sdfatloss.com. Go there right now. sdfatloss.com. How do you make a game a little bit worse? Oh, I know. Give some of these guys more to do. We'll explain next.
This update is presented by Lowe's. Starting off with the Padres this morning, they played an exhibition game against the Mariners yesterday at Petco Park. Padres lost 4-1. The home opener is going to be on Thursday, first pitch at 1:10. And if you have tickets to that game, Padres are going to be playing the Aztecs game on the Jumbotron immediately following the final out. That's this Thursday again. The Aztecs will play against UConn at 4:39. Padres first pitch at 1:10. In Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani speaking out yesterday via an interpreter. He said that he never bet on sports, and his interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, stole money from him and told lies. Power through your spring at Lowe's with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Buy one select string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery for free. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Yeah, man, we're having a good time here on Tuesday. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. However, we are thinking of everybody out in Baltimore. Some scary collision out there to the Baltimore Bridge. Well, was it the Baltimore Bridge? Is that what it's called? I can't remember the name. I don't know.
No,
it seemed like
entire bridge. It's like a mile-long bridge collapses into the water. There were cars on the bridge when it collapsed.
Yeah, divers looking for victims out there. There's footage of it, and it's crazy. But apparently the ship that hit it, or the boat that hit it, however large of a ship this was, lost control, lost propulsion, and just drifted into one of the columns of the bridge, and it just fell into the water. I mean, in a half a second. It was crazy.
It's horrifying, man. It looks like something a supervillain would do in a Batman movie or something.
Yeah.
But it like that made my stomach drop immediately this morning.
Yeah, it was a scary visual there. And so our hearts go out there, crossing our fingers that there's good news out in Baltimore. Here, we do have ticket giveaways. Social D, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, April 12th. Special guest, Bad Religion. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Also a $50 Islands gift card. Islands has a vast menu of items, a family-friendly, beachy vibe atmosphere with delicious food and drinks. Islands has the happiest happy hour starting at weekdays at 3 o'clock. The cheesiest cheddar fries and the coldest beer in town. Visit Islands Fine Burgers and Drinks, or just keep listening for your chance to win. Meanwhile, as we switch gears.
Breaking news.
The breaking news from yesterday or breaking news from right now?
Breaking news from yesterday.
Breaking news. Is it about your broken ankle?
It is.
And the breaking news is...
I got to go under the knife, man.
Oh, Fletch having to do surgery on a broken ankle. You broke the tibula and the fibula. Now you went in yesterday. They were going to take a look at it, see if it was set correctly, see if it was healing. They take the temporary cast off, and they said, no, it's all screwed up.
The smell when they took the temporary cast off. Oh, I thought someone was going to faint.
That's
also,
terrible.
When your leg has been encased in like a splint made of fiberglass and ace bandages for a week, pretty much exactly, your leg looks really gross when they take it off. Like my
Wait, was it like wrinkly?
It was so wrinkly and had these gnarly creases, and there was yellow for some reason. I don't know.
Well, you know what? There's probably the Italian. When you take the cast off, that tan still wants to come through, so it just turns yellow.
It was Richie. You've had casts, like probably. I don't know. You seem like you've broken everything. But the moment when they take that splint off after your leg has been encased in something for a week, the smell was god awful. But the actual look of my leg. I look like I had a hobbit foot, first of all.
Well, what happens is you know how your hands look when you get out of a bath that you've sat in too long, or a hot tub, and they're all like pruny and like gross looking. That's what you get these weird, also whatever is closest to your skin, gauze or cotton, like all of that gets smushed and compressed and imprinted in your skin. So you're like, am I dying? Do I have leprosy? Like, why is my skin? And then obviously the blood starts getting back to those places that had been squeezed away from, and it looks normal. But so I haven't seen your lower body yet. Are you back in a soft cast?
Yeah, I have a different one.
Yeah, let's see this now.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Rewrapped.
Slightly different position too. Your toes pointed a little bit more.
That's the problem. So the doc had to like manipulate my ankle a little bit yesterday. And so now, like today is the worst pain I've had since I actually broke the ankle.
Well, now they said you have to have surgery and remove it. Peg leg.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Not
What's
quite.
happening?
Just
I-
plates and screws.
Your
It's happening.
birthday is coming up. We're gonna have to get him a parrot.
Yeah.
Me and Aaron Bauman are going to have matching ankles.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Wait, she had surgery?
Yeah,
She has plates and screws in her ankle.
Wow.
my sister
Same deal,
went through
acorn?
that too. Yeah. Did she slip on an acorn also?
I think a soccer ball.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds more normal.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
should. The acorn never should have been a part of the story.
Well-
I slipped on my left foot. Right foot got stuck underneath my butt.
What did you slip on?
Yeah,
though?
yeah.
Did you just
Slipped
slip
on
on
something,
loose
like-
gravel, or
yeah.
was it a?
Were you out there
It was a
playing?
combination of loose gravel and acorns.
Well, acorns?
Now there's more acorns.
Yeah.
This feels like the Shohei thing.
This,
Could you speak through an interpreter?
it makes it more believable.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we'll get back to the Shohei Ohtani storyline in a little bit here, but we got to take quick respite from that to talk about something that came out of the owners' meetings. The NFL obviously having a lot of discussion over the new revitalized interest in making the game safe again. Like, you know, we got to protect these players from themselves because they don't know how to tackle. We need to outlaw a new tackle called the swivel hip drop tackle. I'm not kidding. That's what it's called. Okay.
The tackle that was, I guess, invented because you said you can't horse collar tackle?
Yeah, so you've changed so many of the rules that players are trying their hardest to like stop other ball carriers from getting first downs, that the only way or the easiest way to get somebody to the ground when you're running up behind them and wrapping your arms around him like a bear hug is to then throw your body weight on the back of their running gear, their lower body, and having them tumble forward. The problem with that, says the league and the competition committee who voted to pass this new ban, is the fact that it leads to a higher rate of injury. Here's the funny thing about tackling. Tackling leads to a pretty high rate of injury.
Right.
If you take grown people and you slam them into each other, somebody's going to break eventually.
Right. That's correct. The problem with this is you are now giving more, not just more for the refs to do, but you're giving them more leeway to throw a flag.
Exactly.
And you're giving them, I mean, this is all up to their discretion. So the amount of penalties I think we're going to see in games right now, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not. My feeling is it's going to be astronomical. It's going to be more games decided on penalties. It's going to be leading to me being more pissed off when I watch games because I'll go, that wasn't a hip drop, or you got to be kidding me. You can't do that because that's part of the hip drop tackle. I mean, it's, I don't want people to get hurt, but if you're going to play the game, play the game.
So if Mark Andrews never broke, or what did he actually end up doing?
Yeah, I think he fractured his ankle.
So if that never happened, does this happen?
Is it Acorn
yeah, I think it was, yeah. So
on the field?
It's actually a very similar injury.
yeah. And by the way, he also had his ankle manipulated and he went owie. Direct quote from him.
You know what, guys?
No, I'm just kidding. I honestly feel terrible that you have to have surgery.
Well,
No, don't leave. We need you.
can we
need to go
side the
home.
cast?
It's not a cast yet. It'll be cast next week after I have surgery. But if Mark Andrews' injury never happened last year, does this meeting take place and does the ban actually go through? Because it was unanimous.
Yeah, probably not. I think that there's always an impetus or reason for change, and I think that's probably the tipping point.
Well, it was a talking point last offseason, and then they got this glaring example that they can point to and be like, look, this was a hip drop tackle, and one of the stars of this game who could have impacted the playoff run more had he been more healthy would have been like, that's why we need to ban the hip drop tackle.
Rewind the clock to the NFC Championship game between the Saints and the Rams, where there was an obvious non-call on a pass interference, and the Rams advance and the Saints go home. Now, again, that wasn't exactly how it went down. The Saints had a chance to win that game after the fact, but it would have been a crucial penalty if called and legislated the way it was supposed to be. The very next season, the NFL launched a reviewable pass interference rule that was a disaster. It was a complete disaster, didn't work, got rid of it after a year. My sincere hope is that this is a disaster, that if you're giving referees, officials more subjective legislation over the game, that it makes several games worse so that we can all collectively say as sports fans, you idiots, you've ruined this. Go back to allowing the swivel hip drop tackle, just like the players want, by the way. The lion's share of the players have been coming out against this negatively, saying like, This is stupid.
Yeah, it's
This-
about to be flag football all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, one thing that kind of flew under the radar yesterday because people were mad about this, the NFL also passed the ability for the sky judge, the guy upstairs, the replay official, to be able to legislate on roughing the passer calls. So if the ref makes a stupid call on that, he can switch it. Or flip side, if there's a roughing the passer that went uncalled, the upstairs official can call that, as well as intentional grounding plays, which I love the intentional grounding one because there's no longer the need for that dumb meeting between every official to come from every corner of the field to come together and be like, well, did it get past the line of scrimmage? What do you think? How about you? Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, intentional grounding.
I think the booth review helps. I mean, that moves the game along quicker. I think when you have a bird's eye view of something, it's better. I don't know about roughing the passer. God, I mean, that is so marginal to me on whether or not you throw a flag. And I feel like if it gets in that margin, you should not throw the flag.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but unfortunately, depending on the officiating crew on the field, depending on the booth reviewer, it's again subjective. Here's my problem with intentional grounding, swivel, hip drop tackling, roughing the passer. These are all subjective things, just like pass interference or holding. You could call holding or pass interference on every single passing play or run and play if we're talking about holding. You could call it on every single play. Somebody on the field is doing it. So subjectively, it's your responsibility as an official to draw the line in your head.
Well, here you go, Rich. Out of 10 plays, how many times would you hold?
10.
Okay. That's really all you need to know. And I think most offensive linemen would answer the exact same way.
Every single time.
And by the way, if you're a
Every
defensive
single time.
lineman,
Yeah.
like how many times do we see at the line of scrimmage, like some defensive lineman's hand gets in the face mask of some offensive lineman and it just goes unnoticed. But if it's outside the pocket, then all of a sudden it gets called.
Well, and see, that's the thing. It's like when there's an egregious, obvious penalty, throw the flag. Okay, I'm fine with it. But again, like a lot of these officials, either they're on a power trip or they draw their line closer to the letter of the rule or the law rather than giving leniencies. And that's the problem. You will have, I mean, when I say disastrous, you will have disastrous results, far worse than a couple of guys spraining their ankle a year. It's going to be things like a player got stopped before a crucial fourth down conversion on a final drive, but 15 yards, swivel hip drop tackle, drive continues, kick the field goal, game's over.
You know what's great about this conversation we're having right now, boys? This is an exact conversation we would have out on the golf course.
You're damn right.
It really is. And
Damn right.
I really feel like a big part of this show coming together and having the chemistry that we have was because in the early days, we were playing a lot of golf together. And if you're looking to play some more golf and you're looking to build some relationships, primetimes.golf is where you need to go today. Primetimes.golf, it's a dating app for salespeople. Begin your next client relationship on a golf course with an ideal prospect who you select and who accepted your invitation. You can meet up for golf, expand your network within your industry, your role, or community, and networking golf groups. Secure tee times today for golf with clients or partners at beautiful golf courses weeks in advance throughout San Diego. Some of the best tracks we have here. Grow your business by playing more golf. Primetimes.golf. It's business golf simplified. Option 1, you got network golf, okay? If you go to primetimes.golf right now, it's free to sign up. You'll see golf available for the coming weeks here. There's Coronado's coming up soon. Arrowwood's coming up soon. You got tons of options on great tracks here in San Diego. You can sign up, pay the green fees, secure your spot, and play. You'll be able to network with 16 other people throughout your round and play one of the hidden gems in San Diego. Or you could sign up for Value Golf, which is $50 a month. If those tee times I was just talking about don't fill up 72 hours in advance, those tee times open up. You can book the same course for just $20, and you can do that 3 times a month. So if you're thinking about this logically and from a financial standpoint, with Value Golf, 50 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 is $110. Your 3 tee times in San Diego at some of the premier courses for $110. You can't beat that anywhere. Primetimes.golf. Sign up is free. Choose if you want to sign up for a tee time already available to secure your spot, or sign up for Value Golf and wait for the unsold tee times and play up to 3 times per month. Primetimes.golf. It's business golf simplified. Get on over to primetimes.golf today.
Coming up next, free agents around the NFL. There are still some huge names available. Where will they land? We'll get into it on the other side. All right, so around the NFL, we have a lot of free agents. By the way, good morning, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you, San Diego Sports 760. Namely, Odell Beckham Jr., who may or may not sign with Miami, and then a Zeke Elliott still out there available, Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, a lot of these guys have one thing in common. They're getting old.
It's right at the end.
They're the fruit is ripe. You better pick it.
It's maybe almost past ripe.
It's a little mushy, but you're gonna look past it because you know what? Damn it, we came to this apple orchard to pick apples, and that's what we're gonna do. Damn it!
It's still sweet. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, so what? It's a little mealy.
Yeah,
we're a little past apple picking season, but we drove 40 minutes to Alpine.
It doesn't matter if it's on the ground.
I think OBJ could still make a difference on a team. Like, I really do. He was pretty good with Baltimore last year when he was playing.
I don't disagree, but I mean, how big of a difference? I mean, like, so
I look back to that performance that he had in the Super Bowl with the Rams. If he did not get injured, he was going to be Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, that was several years ago. That was several years ago. Now, I'm not saying he's not great.
3 years ago.
So, look, I mean, apparently he was out in Miami. He met with them. He left there. There was no deal made. But Mike McDaniel is saying, "Oh yeah, well yeah, we're still working on it. We made him an offer.
Yeah,
he makes sense in Miami, dude.
He makes sense in Miami, but for not every down, right?
No. I don't think he would be like on that team. He would be at very least a third, if not fourth receiver.
Right.
Because I would even put Devon A-Chain out of the backfield over him in terms of like reliable target for Tua to find. So, I mean, you got to characterize these players where they're at in their career and what their impact has been recently. Zeke Elliott, I mean, he's got one foot out the door and another on a banana peel.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he is about to slip and fall and be retired.
Or an acorn.
Or an acorn.
That's where the segment ends, folks.
No doubt.
You just stanzed us. Yeah. You just left on a high note. That was incredible.
Wow. You know what you want to do, though, is make sure your feet flat on the ground.
Yeah, speaking of acorns, and I don't know if you were wearing the arch supports. Don't tell me if you were. Please don't tell me if you were. But anybody who's going to go for a hike should wear their arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Probably the problem. Probably didn't have them in.
Yeah, that's my guess. And don't you dare clarify, Fletch.
Unless it's your interpreter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we only speak this show. We only speak through interpreters from now on. All right, so check this out. At the Good Feet store, they have these arch supports. I've been wearing them for 2+ years now. So Good Feet arch supports, what they do is they balance the foundation of the rest of your body. You slip them into your shoes, you wear them around, and all of a sudden, if you ever had lower body joint pain, you're going to feel that pain melt away. I had lower back pain. I had hip pain so bad that I was going to be getting an MRI on it if it didn't turn around. Knee pain. All of that has dissipated in great form because I've been wearing these arch supports from the Good Feet store. So if you're like me, if you struggle with foot pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, even neck pain or mid back pain, because your posture is important, the way you stand is important, get to the Good Feet store. They got 200+ locations around the US and overseas. That's goodfeet.com, goodfeet.com.
It's hour 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760. This update presented by Lowe's. Padres, they played an exhibition game yesterday against the Mariners at Petco Park. Padres lost 4-1. The home opener is going to be on Thursday. First pitch at 1:10, and if you have tickets to that game, Padres are going to be hosting a watch party for the Aztecs in the NCAA tournament against UConn. Tip-off for that at 4:39. Of course, you can listen right here on San Diego Sports 760, and come join us at the Blind Burrow on Thursday. In Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani speaking out yesterday saying that he never bet on sports, and interpreter Ippei Mitsuhara stole money from him and told lies. Power through your spring at Lowe's with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Buy one select string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery for free, valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Good morning and happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760. Coming up, we got those Social D tickets. We got that giveaway. We got the $50 gift card to Islands. We got that giveaway. Also, we have Four Corners. Four Corners, fresh from the Four Corners news desk. John Fink is going to be jumping in studio in the 8 o'clock hour, so a lot to look forward to. But there's also the Aztecs. Looking forward to watching them tip off against UConn on Thursday as the NCAA March Madness bracket continues. And so, yeah, Brian Dutcher, who we played the sound yesterday, spoke with great humility about being this far in the tournament, spoke with great humility about how...
Let's reset that, actually, because I Dutch was fantastic.
This is postgame, okay? So you just roll off a great win against Yale, who, by the way, a lot of people say, well, it's an Ivy League school. You were supposed to beat them. Yeah, so is Auburn, who is 4th in the country. Okay, so the Aztecs are somewhere in the 20s in terms of their ranking in the country. The 4th ranked team in the country got beat by Yale, who then faced San Diego State next, and San Diego State beat the brakes off of Yale. So after this big win, the first time that Dutch and the gang saw their shots dropping, since basically November. Yeah. I mean, it's been a little bit
since the Fresno State game on the road, which was February.
Okay, all right.
But that was like one example of the last 15 games.
It's been tough. It's been a tough stretch for perimeter shooting, but they really put it all together against Yale. And so here's Dutch post game after this win, knowing that they're advancing to the Sweet 16.
No, that's the beauty of being young. I'll be intimidated, but I'll get them ready to play, and we'll go out there and we'll play in a hostile environment in Boston against a great UConn team and see where it ends up. That's the beauty of playing these games. So we're going to go in with a game plan and with a bunch of guys that believe they can win, and we'll see how it ends.
So TD, Dutch goes, I'm intimidated, but these young players are going to go out there and they're going to represent this university and be able to block all this out and take care of business. We're going to try to get them ready as they can. I mean, when you hear that, what do you think? What do you think about the coach?
I think he's a stand-up guy. I mean, he's like the dad that everybody wants, right? Yeah, I'm going to protect my kids. Look, I understand the dangers we're going into, but they're young. They're fearless. So, but I get it. So I'm gonna steer the ship here the best we can. We're gonna have a plan when we go into this thing, and if the plan goes awry, we're gonna get a new plan.
Fletch, you're a college football or basketball fan, I should say, like no one I've ever met. I mean, we will get text messages at 10 p.m. sometimes on random weekday nights in the early portion of the college basketball season, where it's like, did you guys just see what the Temple Owls did to Drexel? And we're like, no, nobody is watching this.
Well, I mean, that Cal State Fullerton 94-point loss this year was something else. That was early on. Just still, how does that even happen?
That still sticks in your mind. Like that one still stands out to you.
Like we'll get texts like, dude, it's like an NBA game going on right now. I'll be like, who's playing? He's like,
oh, do not diminish college basketball by calling it an NBA game.
No, but there was one time you texted us, you're like, look, this is like a scoring performance like an NBA half. I was like, what are you watching right now? He's like, oh, UMass Hofstra? Just like, what? What? I wasn't even sure both of those programs still had basketball teams. He's like, well, it's on the Ocho. Anyways, so Fletch, as our college basketball complete addict, when you hear Dutch speak, It does feel, at least to me, maybe more of a novice in my interest in the sport overall, but it does feel to me like Dutch sounds different than any of the other basketball coaches.
I mean, he was obviously under the tutelage of Steve Fisher, who handled media extremely well throughout his time. But Dutch, speaking in that soundbite, what I heard from him is he understands he's literally going up against the best team in college basketball. And he went into it with the proper respect for them and said, look, these kids on my team, they're going to go in with every right they have and believe that they're going to win this game. I know as a coach, this is going to be brutal. This is the toughest challenge we will have faced in the last multiple years, like since we played against UConn last year. So Dutch is going in with the understanding and knowing that even if the Aztecs play perfect, they're still going to need some breaks to go their way.
Now I'm going to flip the coin over, and I'm going to talk about the Huskies, because the Huskies, now they have all of the reason in the world to be pounding their chest and to think who they are. This is the returning national champion. They're in the Sweet 16. Dan Hurley's got a squad, man. I mean, this is a group that romped the field last year. And I do mean romp. If you look at their bracket from a year ago,
they beat the doors off of everybody.
Everybody.
Like Gonzaga had one of their better teams in recent history last year. UConn went through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, it was like wet cardboard. It was wild watching them perform. And then in the championship game, it wasn't a great outing from the Aztecs. It was a great outing from UConn. So deservedly so, they win the championship.
San Diego State had that game with them 5 with 5 minutes left.
I know, that is a weird one.
I always forget about
Yeah,
that. Like San Diego State had this furious charge in the second half.
And it was weird because I never felt like it was going to be enough.
Me neither.
I hated that feeling inside of me, but I'm like, they're not going to catch them. And they couldn't, and it was unfortunate. But that you are right. It didn't feel like they ever had control of the game, like even from a momentum standpoint. But
so all that's true, and San Diego State gave UConn their best run in the tournament.
Yeah, they had to earn it. There's no question. In the championship game, they had to earn it. But so here's Dan Hurley. You just heard from Brian Dutcher, humility. Maybe a little fear and intimidation. He was expressing his emotions. Respect for the opponent ahead. Here's Dan Hurley, head coach of the UConn Huskies, talking about the tournament so far.
I do think that the committee, has tried to make this as difficult as they can on us to do it. The Florida Atlantic, Northwestern, 8-9, obviously, the Auburn, San Diego State, and Illinois, and what they look like with Iowa State. We know what they, we know what they had in mind, and it just, it's more fuel on the fire.
Okay, if we can all just take a huge pause.
Okay.
Mr. Dan Hurley.
Okay. We're calling the first time out?
Yes.
Okay.
So what he just is saying right now is that the NCAA selection committee stacked this side of the bracket against UConn to make sure UConn had the toughest path possible to get back to the NCAA tournament championship game. UConn is the number 1 overall seed. That means at every turn of the table, they are going to have the most favorable environment to play in every single one of those games. So yes, while your side of the tournament is stacked, think about the other teams that you just mentioned and understand that you're on the side of the bracket that they're in. So every time any one of those teams you just mentioned, Illinois, San Diego State, Auburn, Yale for that matter, all of them saw, oh crap, UConn's in our bracket, and UConn is going to have home court advantage in all of these games. UConn is going to be playing the game in the Sweet 16 against San Diego State, an hour and a half away from the campus. You don't think that's the NCAA selection committee doing you a solid, Mr. Hurley?
Yeah, it's a backhanded compliment, by the way. I mean, he's trying to say that, it's stacked. He throws out teams that are definitely good teams, and that's his tip of the hat to, hey, these are great teams. That's it. Now, that was the backhanded portion of it because, look, we're the best there is, all right? We're the greatest there's going to be, and we, it doesn't matter who you throw at us. We're going to get there. We got to go through all the toughest opponents, and we will.
It is the toughest part of the bracket.
Yeah.
Like that, the quadrant San Diego State fell in is the hardest one to get through.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying he's wrong for saying this. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Here's my thought on Dan Hurley. It sounds like a guy who's heard yes too much. It sounds like a spoiled, entitled kid. It sounds like when you give him out some cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him a glass of milk, he's probably going to, it's the next thing. So all these desires for Dan Hurley have been met for so long that now he's expectant, that now in order for this team to be considered respected, you have to go above and beyond because We are college basketball. Are you kidding me? Without us, without UConn, without the Huskies, screw you. You screwed us. Like, whereas Brian Dutcher, who, by the way, has had this long stretch of success as a coach, comes off humble and, gives proper reverence to what they're doing together and what college basketball is doing overall. Dan Hurley's like, puh, you idiots.
Dan Hurley's a clown, dude.
My steak is cold. Like, it's so, he sounds like an entitled child.
So I don't think
I had to get through dinner with a cold steak.
You sons of, yeah, sure, it's a fine white tablecloth establishment, and I know it's a 200 fillet of Wagyu, but it was cold.
if I was Dutch,
it's supposed to be cold. It's served this way. It's a different kind of steak.
It's just seared on the outside. This is the edge.
This steak carpaccio, Dan Hurley. No!
if I was Dutch or Velasquez because they traveled today. So when I would arrive at the hotel, on every one of the players' hotel room TVs, I would have that playing, and right next to it, like a Google Maps of how far away the TD Gardens is from UConn.
God, that's a good name.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is. All right.
Is it TD Ameritrade?
I think maybe it might be.
Wow.
They've partnered. Anyways, we're going to get into the complex system of banking in the United States on the other side of halftime. Also, we have a giveaway. We have those Social D tickets. We have the Islands gift card still to come on the show. And then morning monologues very quickly to come. And I may need an interpreter for mine. That's a little clue. But first, this.
Maybe.
All right, what I got for you guys is Shohei Ohtani finally spoke, and as he did, it was through an interpreter. No, not that interpreter, a new interpreter. His name's Will. So Ife Mitsuhara is no longer employed by the Dodgers and potentially in big trouble because Shohei Ohtani, he blamed them for everything. So he said that he never gambled on sports. He didn't instruct his former interpreter, Ipe Mitsuhara, to wire money from his account to pay a bookmaker. He also said that Mitsuhara had, quote, been stealing money from us and has told lies. This in a 12-minute statement in front of a large crowd of reporters in the LA Dodgers interview room. NFL owners have approved a rule proposed to ban the swivel hip drop tackle, the league announced yesterday. The violation will result in a 15-yard penalty. However, Troy Vincent, who has an executive vice president of football operations role with the league, said that this is going to be legislated more like the use of helmet rule, which typically leads to warning letters and fines the week after the game rather than flags during the game. We'll see. Mm-hmm. And then another issue with gambling or sports betting, Toronto Raptors forward Jonte Porter is under investigation by the NBA following multiple instances of betting irregularities over the past several months. Apparently, he's taking, allegedly, they think he or somebody who knows Jonte may be taking the under on his prop bets, and he is either bowing out of these games or not having great games on the nights where there's this increased action on the unders on his prop bets.
That's what I'd do if I was betting on me.
Yeah. Betting on me to lose.
I mean, I'm just saying it's easier to hit the under.
Yeah, for anybody who's like lost in the sauce, basically if a fighter throws a fight, he's betting on him losing the fight. That's kind of what he's doing with his stats.
By the way, those bets were between 10 and 20,000.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Shohei. $4.5 million racked up. I'm doubting they were $10,000 bets.
It's not like 10,000 at a time. Yeah. We're just going to chip away at the mountain, make a pile of sand. All right, guys. So I've decided that for now on, I'm going to speak through an interpreter. Like I'm no longer going to take any direct action for the things that I do.
It's good.
And look, I don't know any foreign languages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to train an interpreter to understand my grunts and moans.
Okay.
And then as a result, like, for example, like if I'm in trouble with my wife, it'll sound something like this. Like, my interpreter will, or maybe we'll name him at another time.
Why doesn't TD just play your interpreter right now?
Yeah, sure. Actually, that works. Yeah, how about this?
He's sorry. He's aware of the pee on the seat. He saw it there, meant to clean it. It wasn't him, though.
Yeah. How about this? How about like with my employer, like the person, my boss, the person who's in charge of us here, maybe like the station president? How about it would go something like this, like,
it was Pie Day. Don't know how that oven got into the studio. Very sorry. Small fire was started in the studio. Wasn't him.
Yeah.
Wasn't him. Fire was there before we got there.
How about this one? Like, I'm in a car accident. The other driver hops out of the driver's seat, comes to my window. Clearly the driver in front of me was rear-ended. I'm directly behind him, but it goes something like this.
I don't know, officer. I was in park, and the person in front of me reversed full throttle right into the front of my car.
How about
it wasn't me?
How about I'm committing insurance fraud because I went on a hike and I'm going to fake a surgery to collect a huge check. Acorn. Brock.
All I know is I was walking. I stepped on an acorn. Feet came out from underneath me. Ankle breaks. I had to signal to my dog, Brock, to go find help. I told him, Brock, I don't think I can walk anymore. You're either going to have to carry me out or go find help. Brock responded. And I said, yeah, boy, go. Several hours later, he returned with 3 or 4 medics and a policeman. They carried me out of the canyon through the desert of Mission Valley by the mall, where I was then transported to Scripps. Then they transported me through the tunnel to Rady Children's Hospital.
The tunnel.
All I know is it wasn't me. It was the damn acorns.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so listen, it's that simple. If you want plausible deniability in anything you do, all you have to do is hire an interpreter and then just have them say whatever it is you want them to say, and you are off the hook, just like Pete Rose said. Okay, who's up next? All right,
okay.
TD, why don't you go?
Listen, I'm a little perplexed here by what's going on in the world, which I don't quite understand. And I'm not really talking about the Shohei stuff or anything really that has to do with sports, shockingly. Out in New York, a guy, Nicky Ferreira, purchased a hearse that he then dumped $125,000 into to make it look like the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Okay.
Wow.
So he drives it around New York. He's going to all the Ghostbusters sites. People are high-fiving him. He's taking pictures. He's making money on it. I'm looking at this hearse that he purchased. One, it's like a late 70s, early 80s. It kind of looks like Ecto-1, but that's not Ecto-1. Ecto-1 was a 59 Cadillac ambulance. It wasn't a hearse. Why would anyone give this guy money? He dumped $125,000 into not the Ecto-1. This is ridiculous. I'm beside myself. I don't know why you call yourself a Ghostbusters fan if you're not going to do it the right way.
So is this like a pledge to all that are listening to us right now? If you could get your hand on funds, you're going to build a proper Ecto-1?
That is correct.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. I will find a 59 Caddy.
I just can't wait to see TD's Kickstarter where he's like, listen, gang. So as you can see, this hearse ain't doing it.
Yeah.
But what I have planned,
I'd like to start things off with a fire engine horn.
All I need is $200,000 from all of you.
And a Cadillac.
And a Cadillac. That's all. And then we can start our build.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, attention to details,
By the
pal.
way, this sounds like Ipei Mitsuharu's pitch to Shohei Ohtani. Like, yeah, so I've run a little bit behind on my Ecto-1 build, so I'm just looking for $4.5 million. All right.
Listen, if that was the case, I'm all in. I get it. I get it.
Imagine that was the story. It's like, well, he was building a movie accurate version of that. Of course, I'm going to give him $4.5 million. All right, Fletch, what do you got?
So in the late 90s and early 2000s, Guy Ritchie was making these movies, these like crime, crazy heist movies like Snatch, Lock, Stock 2, Smoking Barrels, like great guy movies, you know? Guy Ritchie's back, and he's back in a big way. He went through some time with some pretty crappy movies there in the middle, like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is still fun, but it's just not as creative as he typically is. There is a new TV show on Netflix called The Gentleman that blew me away. It is so good, guys. It's 8 episodes. It is all about this like weed farm that somehow gets planted in some British oligarch's like backyard, and he has to figure out a way because he just inherited it from his father to keep this crime family running alive. And dude, every time things start to go right for him, they end up killing somebody else on accident and have a whole new set of problems to go with. Guy Ritchie is back making like guy movies and guy TV shows. And it's so much fun.
I've heard
if you break your ankle and you could just like lay on the couch for a day and watch all 8 episodes in one day, which is exactly what I did, it will be the best like 4.5 hours you've had in a long time.
I tried this one. I heard it was good, not only from yourself, but I mean, the planet is saying how good it is. I have a problem with like British accent shows.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's wrong with British accents?
Well, nothing. I just don't like to watch it. Like I'm out.
But that dude, the like main
Unless
character,
it's just like a character. But when the whole show is,
he's got like a cool factor going.
no, I get it.
So this is called The Gentleman,
It's called The Gentleman.
and it's a show, not a movie.
There was a movie with Matthew McConaughey a couple years ago,
yeah.
also with Guy Ritchie, but I don't think the two have any to do with. I never saw the Matthew McConaughey one.
Guy Ritchie just like, I don't know what else to call these things.
Well, so this is like,
I thought it was a cool name for the movie, so I'm going to use it for the show.
dude, the show's awesome. It's like super fast paced. There's problem all over the place. Like there's this boxing kind of sideline with fixed fights and everything that's all going on throughout the whole show. It's awesome.
I really do enjoy all of his movies. I don't think I've seen a bad one, so I'll watch it. I'll get into it. This is something I get, and I agree with you. Accents used to be distracting until I watched a show called, especially English accents. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's like, because of the Revolutionary War.
You think
I'm not quite over it yet.
They are kind of, it's like the J riff factor where they're sort of talking down.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it really is English accents, the ones where I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, it's like, please. I mean, we all know you should be talking like from Jersey.
Yeah.
You know what? Get me a slice.
Thank you. That's what I want.
Well, so I watched this show called Tutors. It was about like
TOOTERS.
No. TUDORS. So it was about the Henry VIII, who just, I mean, to put it in the most crass of terms, just like basically had sex with women and then cut their heads off. That was basically what his whole life was. And so they were completely willing to go there, and and he spoke with a British accent the whole time. Like, maybe this isn't so bad after all.
You guys got to start watching like Korean TV shows.
No, I did.
I watched the
Squid Game.
Squid Game. Yeah.
There's some other really good ones.
I'm
you just have to like be willing to read your TV.
Yeah, no, I don't. If I got to read along, I'm out. But then I don't typically like the voiceover stuff. But Squid Game, I was fascinated with, so I kept going.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
it was a good show. Liked it. I watched the dub version. I too struggle with reading.
Yeah, I don't. Because I might as well just put a black screen up with words.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I just start staring at words.
Check this out. On the other side, we have the best bracket ever breakdown. So the results are in, and I believe do we want to unveil the next round now, and then we'll do our full analysis later?
Sure.
Because I want you in top form. I feel like today he's a little bit of a somber day for Fletch.
Yeah, he's in pain.
So
he's in pain, and he's still trying to, come to grips with the fact that he's going to lose his foot.
I'm not losing my foot.
Well, we don't know that.
But I also,
for sure.
Would one of you want a shot at doing the analysis?
But you lose the foot, you gain a peg leg.
Oh, that's true. Will your future child? I mean, you got 8 months. Is he going to be cool with dad and a peg leg?
He won't know any different.
Here's what I'm cool with. The fact that I have a broken ankle means I am laying on the couch a lot. And the fact that it is this time of year means there is basketball on the television literally all the time. So I've been able to go nuts with Prize Picks, and you can too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 3 million active members. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike some of the other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. No sharks, no competitive leagues. All you're doing is picking more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you could watch the winnings roll in. And you can now win up to 100 times your money with the demons on Prize Picks. With as little as 4 correct picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 with pro basketball, hockey, college basketball, all those entries today. Any sport you can think of, and some that aren't even real sports, you can find them on Prize Picks. It's so much fun. The promotions have been going crazy during this time of year because they want to get you in the action. And if you have the skills, you can make some serious money on Prize Picks. In as little as 60 seconds, you can make your entry. It's ridiculous how easy it is. Prize Picks, those weekly promotions I'm talking about. Today is Tuesday, which means Taco Tuesday is coming up a little later on. So if you download the app, you'll get the push notification, and there will be some special discounted players in your inbox on Taco Tuesday. It's the way to go, man. Get Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch when you download the app. And by the way, Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. They're that for a reason, and that's because of the promotions, because they're never just resting on their laurels. They're always adding new things into Prize Picks to make the experience more fun. It's an awesome app. Go download it today and use promo code Fletch. Get a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Who's moving on in the best bracket ever? We got the breakdown coming up next.
This update is presented by Lowe's. Starting off with the Padres, they played an exhibition game against the Mariners yesterday at Petco Park. Padres lost 4-1. However, Fernando Tatis Jr. did have one of those plays that really, it seems like only he can do. It was like a jump man, Michael Jordan moment in the outfield where he was able to rob a ball. Their home opener is going to be on Thursday, first pitch at 1:10. If you have tickets to that game, the Padres are going to be hosting a watch party for the Aztecs game in the NCAA tournament against UConn immediately following the Padres game. Major League Baseball Shohei Ohtani speaking out yesterday, saying that he never bet on sports, and interpreter Ippei Mitsuhara stole money from him and told lies. Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Buy one select 20 volt max tool. Get one DeWalt 20V max power stack battery 2-pack for free. A $179 value, valid 3/18 through 3/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Big Rich, Sheedy, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760. Still got those giveaways. We got Social D tickets. Going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater April 12th. Ticketmaster.com. You want to buy them. You want to win them. Keep listening. $50 gift card to Islands. That's coming up as well. You can visit Islands Fine Burgers and Drinks. Keep listening for your chance to win those as well. And we got the best bracket ever.
Yeah, we do. We're going to do today a little different. We're going to announce the winners of the opening round of the BBE. And then tomorrow, when Fletch isn't in so much pain, I think we're going to do the analysis because I don't really want him to move any more than he has to. He seems like he is, like visually, just looking at him, he's grimacing every single moment of the day. So
that couch is pretty nice.
Yeah, you should. Honestly, I wonder, can you do this job from that couch? Is that possible?
Do you want us to drag the couch over to the board?
Nah, it's too much.
Are you sure?
I don't think. I mean, it would take like a second.
Yeah, we could actually do that in the middle of this segment.
It'd be a fun visual too.
And have the mic just dangling above me like a boom mic.
Yeah, well, just take the mic off and handheld that
All
thing
we'll see
like
is
your
the
Bob Barker.
The top of your hat. That actually might be more painful. All right, so the BBE, we started this last year. The thing went super viral. We're doing it again this year, and we're having a lot of fun with it, and so are our listeners. I had when I mean a long text message conversation with family members on the East Coast, I mean a long group text conversation about this. A lot of people were disappointed with some of these results. We'll see if everybody feels similarly when we release the next analysis.
Right.
But I'm going to hop out of my chair. I'll get on the headset mic, and then TD, I guess you'll read the polling off of Twitter at Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, because the polling is now closed for the opening round.
Right. All right. You're going to hop over on the, do we need to turn a camera around here? Probably, right?
Well, no, you don't need to worry about it. Well, yeah, I guess here, I'll turn mine around.
Okay, there we go. I got you.
Turn this mic on.
There we go. Oh, maybe not.
Hi, Rich. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You sound beautiful.
All right, hang on. Oh,
Whoa.
Oh my God.
we got stuff falling
Dude,
everywhere.
that light is gonna fall.
oh my God, dude. All right, I think we're okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Everything's good.
That's put on there by John Rigg.
Yeah,
Right? It's not going anywhere. That's all thread.
we can trust that that's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Now, the only question is, do we have
We have a lot of stools in here.
dry
Or a
erase?
dry erase marker. Somebody stole our dry erase marker?
It's in here, I think.
Why is it in there?
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna
Okay,
take
hold
some-
on. Okay, so as Rich now goes to find a dry erase marker, we were fully prepared to do this segment. So everything's working fine. Fletch has found the dry erase marker. Rich now heading back into the studio. He has to traverse over the empty box from what's in the box. It's like the prop graveyard. There's
Okay.
there's a couple stools.
Yeah,
there's
there's
a Steve Hartman.
Yeah,
There's a wheel of football.
the wheel of football. Oh, here's Buck Norris, who I think I just want with me because it's moral support.
Yeah, why not?
Give
Why
me a
not?
kiss.
So check this out.
Where do you want to start here? On the western side?
Yeah, I think let's start on the west because
Okay.
I'm on this side.
We're going to start on the western side, a 1 seed taking on the 8 seed. Ice Chest Beer against House to Yourself. House to Yourself will move on
No
with
way.
60.5% of the votes.
First time in best bracket ever history that an 8 seed is upset a 1 seed.
Wow.
This is
First time in
incredible.
history? Incredible.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk about that for a second because Ice Chest Beer to us felt like it might make a run to the championship and romp the field. House to yourself a plucky underdog.
Right.
But
right.
let's be honest. House to yourself is pretty good.
House to yourself is a solid entry. It was a holdover from last year. A lot of people thought it was going to go a lot further than it did. It was knocked out pretty early, but here it is making an early run on BBE 2024. We move on to the 4 and 5 seed. You got Barbecue Smell up against a Slurpee. Barbecue Smell absolutely dominates with 87.6% of the votes, beating out Slurpee. Slurpee will not move on. That means you got Barbecue Smell versus House to yourself, things that could coincide with one another.
In fact, if they don't coincide, you're doing House to yourself wrong.
That's a good point. That's a solid point. By the way, a 4 and 5 seed matchup there. BBQ Smell obviously came in as the higher ranked seed. It's not an upset, but I will say this: a Slurpee. Slurpee's pretty damn good. Like a Slurpee is something tangible. Like you get to enjoy it. Barbecue Smell, yeah, you get to enjoy it, but it's like, I mean, it's not like, you're holding the baby. It's not your baby.
Right. Right. That's very true. Very, very true. Barbecue Smell, though, strong.
It is strong. Yeah.
Let's move on to the 2 and 7 seed. You got a Photo Finish P coming into the 2 seed. Another holdover from BBE 2023. Sundresses. Sundresses were predicted to be a Cinderella story.
Duh.
Sundresses dominate Photo Finish P. 83.7% of the votes going to Sundresses. Incredible.
I would say this about Sundresses: an artificially low seed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't feel like, how did they sneak into this bracket out of 7?
Well, look,
Ask Dan Hurley.
That's how it works. So that's how it works. When you don't make it through the BBE bracket and you're a holdover from the following year, you come into the lower seed. Everybody knows those rules. We move on to the 3 and 6 seed. Wings versus Home Run Bat Crack. This one was a tight race. In fact, when we started, Home Run Bat Crack had a dominant lead. In the second half of voting, Wings wins 57.2% of the votes coming in for Wings, taking down Home Run Bat Crack. Do we need to take a break here before we go to the East? Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to take a quick
Rich,
break.
can you tell us about your teeth while you're mobile?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I can. So, yeah, we'll finish up the BBB in just a moment here. But before we do, want to talk to everybody.
Or BBE.
What did I say?
BBB.
Either way, it's something. It really is.
At least there wasn't a C in there. Like a laugh for that?
Well, he was talking about the British broadcasting channel. That's all. Yeah.
Hang on, I'll lap it.
While he's doing that, Jordan Colby, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental is a miracle worker. And I mean that honestly, and for me personally, because I was in a situation not too long ago where I was missing a couple of molars and I needed another one taken out. I needed 3 implants put in. And it had worried me who I was going to employ to do this for me. I spoke to my dentist prior to Dr. Jordan Colby, and he said that I was going to have to visit 4 different offices, and it was going to be a 1.5 year long process. With Dr. Jordan Colby, it took 3 months. I was back on the microphone the next day after surgery, and it couldn't have gone any better. And it was all done in a single office. But if you're not having major oral surgery, if you're just getting your teeth cleaned, or if you have a cavity you need filled, or a root canal, or some other sort of issue with your teeth, I suggest you go to Ocean View Dental as well. I mean, they treat you like family, because that's what it is. It's a family environment, and Dr. Jordan Colby is a great family man. So again, if you're interested in a new dentist, or you have a dentist but you're not really loving the service you're getting, go to oceanviewdental.net. That's oceanviewdental.net.
Guys, I have one question. I have one question for both of you. Who's a skinny boy?
Benny's a skinny boy.
You are.
Who else are skinny boys?
We're skinny boys.
We're also skinny boys.
So when summer comes around this year, are you guys going to be afraid to take your shirt off at the pool? Because I'm not.
No
Come on.
chance.
Nope.
I mean, I
Other than
never
the
was
hair.
before either, but now I'm proud of it.
So much hair.
So much hair.
Look, if you're thinking about
Take the
summer and
sweater off.
it's giving you some anxiety here because you're worried about taking your shirt off at the water park or at the pool around family or whatever, just get on over to sdfatloss.com today, because at the very least, you're going to drop quite a bit of weight here before summer gets going. sdfatloss.com is the place you got to go. If you're looking to drop 20, 30, 40 pounds off of what you got going on right now, sdfatloss.com can make that happen, and they can make it happen in a hurry, man. We're talking 2 months' time in the mad reduction phase that you can drop a significant amount of weight before the summer season really gets going in full force. We're talking beach days, pool days, water slides, all of it. You will feel much better about yourself if you get on over to sdfatloss.com today and set up the free consultation and then get the roadmap that Wayne and Chloe will provide to you that will show you how you're going to lose the weight in such a quick amount of time. And if you need any proof, look at the three of us, because we all went into this and we were big fat fatties, and now we're all
So
skinny boys.
Yeah, really skinny boys, super hot,
Super
skinny
hot.
boys.
Like so hot right now.
I'll take my shirt off right now. I'll do it.
I believe him.
sdfatloss.com is where you got to go. Get a free consultation, get the roadmap, and start losing weight right now.
Yeah, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, as we roll along here on a Tuesday, we have tons to get to. If you missed it, there's going to be an interpretation of Shohei Ohtani's interpretation that we'll get to on the other side. Also, there's an NBA player also dealing with some issues surrounding gambling. We'll get to that. We have our Four Corners news desk correspondent John Fink jumping in with us in just a little bit. So there's a lot to get to. Also, it's a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, get on over to Prize Picks. Taco Tuesday promotions are the best ones.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Wow.
That's spicy.
Promo code Fletch.
So we gotta see what stories are spicy and which one's a little mild.
Yeah.
So
So
on a Taco Tuesday.
I'm going to bring some of those to your attention on a Taco Tuesday.
Can we go get tacos?
That doesn't sound like a bad
like
idea.
mid-segment tacos.
Like, can we do that now? Like tacos like
Like
right now?
I mean, we could make the run.
I am starving.
A run for the border.
Roberto's is right there.
Does Taco Bell still say make a run for the border?
I don't think they're allowed. I don't think they're allowed.
It's bad form.
It's bad form. Okay, so yeah.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
And the best bracket ever.
Yeah, we got to do the eastern side of the bracket here. So Rich now going over, grabbing the headset so we can get a detailed analysis of what's happening here. And we're going to start off right at the top here. The 1 seed versus the 8 seed. Unexpected nudity versus alone in the car fart. Now, look, I think when the seeding came out, we thought this was going to be an undefeated victory from unexpected nudity. I think that's where my biggest shocker came in is alone in the car fart actually got votes, but unexpected nudity wins hands down here, 85.8% of the vote.
Does this feel a little bit? Oh, here we go. Does this feel a little bit like unexpected nudity got the majority of the real votes, and then people voted for alone in the car farting as a goof?
Well, I think there's some goof there. I think there's also some prude factor. Oh God, I don't want unexpected nudity. That would, a ball slip? No, thank you. So I'd rather fart in the car by myself. We're going on to the 4 and 5 seed. We got freebies versus the perfect high five, which perfect high five with the 5 seed. It's good. I mean, when you land a perfect high five, it's fantastic, but it can't compare to freebies, which wins 63.4% of the votes. Freebies move on there. Looking at the 3 and the 6 seed, road trip snacks versus a 3-day weekend. Now, I'll be honest with you. I voted road trip snacks, but it doesn't come close to a 3-day weekend. 84.2% of the votes going to the 6 seed. That will move on. 3-day weekend got a low seed, guys.
Yeah, it really did. So 3-day weekend takes it.
Yeah.
This feels to me like a strong contender for a final. I mean, but then again, their region of the bracket gets tricky here from here on out.
Yes, it does.
Okay, Dan Hurley.
But you could see
the committee really missed on this seating.
Let me guess, 3-day weekend is playing like right next door to the Christmas vacation.
Dan Hurley is literally the worst.
You could see a 3-day weekend up against an unexpected nudity. I feel like freebies has a tough go against unexpected nudity, to be quite honest. But we move on to the final.
Unexpected nudity could be a freebie.
Okay, yeah, I guess technically that's true. Yeah,
also true.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to pay for that action.
This was the tightest race here, a 2 and a 7 seed. Perfect State going up against Yoga Pants. Now, Yoga Pants also a holdover from last year's bracket. Yoga Pants knocked out again early by the 2 seed. Perfect State wins.
What was the percentage?
54.8%. I do believe yesterday Yoga Pants had the lead. So how about that? Perfect State going up against 3-day weekend, the 2 and the 3 seed. Unbelievable, guys.
You know what, guys? I mean, 2 pervies, but not nearly as pervy as last year's best bracket ever.
Yeah, there's a lot less perv this year, which is interesting. So 2024, not as pervy as 2023. Science.
All right, so check it out. What we're looking at here is an 8 seed taking on a 4 seed on the west side of the bracket. House to Yourself taking on BBQ Smell. A 3 seed taking on a 7 seed. Wings against Sundresses.
Golly.
So then when we look over at the east side, Unexpected Nudity, a 1 seed taking on Freebies, a 4. And then, of course, the 3 seed or the, 6 seed. Who was the 6? Was 3-day weekend the 6?
Yeah. 6 was,
wow.
Yes. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. 3-day weekend was the 6.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
a
right.
6 seed, 3-day weekend taking on a number 2 seed, Perfect State.
It was confusing because there's a 3 and 3-day weekend.
Yeah. So I thought it was a 3 seed. It definitely was not. This is what matchup do you think is most contentious? Because we completely missed it last time. I thought Yoga Pants and Steak would be a close race, but the home run wings competition was way closer than I thought it would be.
Absolutely.
Barbecue Smell, House to Yourself is going to be the closest one on this side. If not, it's going to be 3-day weekend Perfect Steak. Both those things, all 4 of those things could be happening at the exact same time.
Does it feel like 7 seed Sundresses is moving on here? Does it feel that way to you guys?
Sundresses is going to the championship.
See, to me, this is the tightest race.
Wow.
Wings versus Sundresses. Do you think
Sundresses walks through this
Both
one?
great.
You think so?
Walks through it.
Wow.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I would vote for Sundresses, and it wouldn't even really be much of a thought.
Right. Look, we're going to get the polling up as soon as we can here, probably right after the show, so everyone can vote. We'll see how this shakes out. Meanwhile, if you're into the college basketball tournament, the one that happens in March, well, you can catch all those college basketball games at Dave & Buster's, and their menu. It's new. It's improved. It's absolutely fantastic. We were ordering off the $5 appetizer menu, and we just kept them coming. I mean, we had those pretzel sticks.
Oh my gosh.
We had the pigs in a blanket. Oh my goodness.
Pretzel pigs in a blanket.
That's what I'm talking about. Deep fried pickles, garlic fries. I mean, they just kept coming. It was fantastic. And you can go there and enjoy them as well for $5. Why would you do anything else? And then after you're done eating, or maybe, mid dinner, mid lunch, Go over and play some games. They got tons of games, and the new ones just keep coming in. The games you've never seen before keep arriving at Dave & Buster's, and they got TVs all over the place. And we were doing the watch party there for the Aztecs. 125-foot screen, unbelievable. You can see UFC fights, baseball, of course, basketball, all of it happening there. And they got a happy hour that runs Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're talking half-price cocktails, $1 off the drafts, $1 off the wine glasses. And if you're a military or first responder, you get 10% off all day, every single day. It's because the people at Dave & Buster's are good people. So schedule your next event by calling them directly or visit daveandbusters.com. They got a location in Mission Valley right down the road from the station here, and then Carlsbad, which is a little closer to my house, which is where I like to go watch some college basketball action. Dave & Buster's, get on out there. We'll see you there.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Lowe's. Starting off with the Padres, they played an exhibition game against the Mariners yesterday at Petco Park. Padres lost 4-1. The home opener is going to be on Thursday, first pitch at 1:10. And if you have tickets to that game, the Padres announced yesterday they will host a watch party for the Aztecs in the NCAA tournament against UConn. That should tip off right around the same time the Padres game ends. In Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani speaking out yesterday, saying that he never bet on sports, and interpreter Ippei Mitsuhara stole money from him and told lies. Savings, now that's speaking the Lowe's language with My Lowe's Rewards. Your savings just keep coming with member-only offers. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Subject to terms and conditions. See lowes.com/terms for details.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch here on a Tuesday, and happy Tuesday to those who celebrate San Diego Sports 760. We have 2 giveaways this hour. We're going to be giving away that $50 gift cards to Islands. So if you're into the cheesiest of cheddar fries, a happy hour that just don't quit, 3 to 6:30 every weekday. How about the Big Wave Burger? One of my favorites. The Kanapali Cobb Salad.
They just don't quit.
No, they just don't quit.
Do
Did
they
you
still
hear me
have that,
growl?
like, the buffalo chicken tender, mac and cheese, French fry creation?
You know what? I guarantee even if they don't, we could order it and they'll be like, oh, yeah, we'll make it in the back.
How about this?
It's like the secret menu.
After I get my surgery next week and I'm
Yeah.
like all high on drugs and everything, like, well, I'm totally zooted,
Where
bro.
am I?
Can you guys bring me Islands?
I think that could be arranged.
Mm.
I think that could be arranged.
Yeah.
Also, it's
do
somebody's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fletch
dat?
Fest. Fletch Fest.
Fletch Fest 24. Look forward to that.
Should we call it Fletch Miss and we all exchange gifts?
Yeah. What I'm gonna, I already know what I'm getting, Fletch. I can't wait to give it to
Do
him.
you?
Oh,
cane?
yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna turn off my microphone and Travis's so I can say it to him. Take your
Okay,
headphone
hang
on.
on.
Hey, ready?
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
It's gonna be exciting.
It's going to be very exciting. So we have that to look forward to. Also, we have Four Corners with John Fink, our news correspondent, jumping in the studio here. Social D tickets to give away. So a lot happening this hour. Before we get to Four Corners, though, we got to talk about Jonte Porter, who, if you don't know who we're talking about, don't panic. Nobody else does either.
Mhm.
He's a forward who plays for the Toronto Raptors. The reason why he's getting rung up is because of irregularities with prop betting surrounding Jonte Porter.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Sounds oddly familiar.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Somebody else is.
Who
we've
else
heard
was in the
this.
news? Wasn't with baseball, was it?
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
You know what?
Yeah.
That was $4.5 million. This is a little bit less than that, but just listen to this. So this is very suspicious. So there are certain sports books that have been tracking Jonte Porter all of a sudden having these weird surges on the unders on certain prop bets, like points, rebounds, assists, things like that. And then all of a sudden on those games, something comes up, like he doesn't shoot a single 3-pointer.
Weird.
And
Where-
then so the under hits. Or how about this? Or oddly, like he just misses half a game with a re-injury of his eye.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's not acorns and ankles, is it?
It's a little different. It's a little different.
Thank you. Number one over here per Fletch.
But it's so it's so idiotic. Like, okay, so imagine if you're Jonte Porter, and you're making an obscene amount of money, as all NBA players do, whether they're on the bench or they're
Right.
actually getting floor time. And all of a sudden you come up with this idea. Hey, you know what we could do? We could make like $10,000 at a time. $10,000.
$10,000.
10 G's. I haven't looked up what his salary is. Actually, if you could look
Yeah.
up John, because I no longer have a password to iHeartMedia.
I mean, even like 7th players on an NBA team are making millions of dollars a year.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there was a
yeah.
time where the Lakers had this super tall white dude who was like good for a couple years and then was bad for the rest of his career, and he was making $30 million on the bench.
What is Jonte Porter making?
He's 2 years ago he's making 1.9 a year.
Yeah.
Now he's been knocked way down to 415 grand.
Oh,
Okay.
so he needs it.
Yeah, he needs.
Okay, this story though
So
does
he's only making a half
He's
million
only making
dollars.
yeah. I
this
mean,
story
that's just with
does
his contract.
scream to me that like Vegas is pissed that they're bad at their jobs on one player.
Well, okay,
Whoa,
hang on.
no.
So imagine this. Say you're Vegas, right? Or any of the like DraftKings or Prize Picks, anybody, right? And you run a situation where all of a sudden you see out of nowhere. By the way, again, Jonte Porter. Like people are running to the window to place prop bets on Jonte Porter. And all of a sudden, on these random games, you see people pounding the under. Like, whereas normally there's like little blips in the radar. It's like, oh yeah, there's about $5,000 being wagered on Jonte. And then all of a sudden you're like, $100,000 being wagered on Jonte Porter under.
Who the hell is Jonte Porter?
Yeah, his 1.5 3-pointers in this game. It's like, why all of a sudden the interest? And then the under hits, and you're like, wait a second, that seems a little fishy. And then all of a sudden it happens again on a different day.
How do you spell his name?
Jontay, and then Porter.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how to spell.
No idea. It's difficult. Did Jonte Porter hire a interpreter?
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's how you get out of this, apparently, because that's what Shohei's doing. And look, it's all speculation on our part, or at least my part, where when I hear Shohei Ohtani speak, I go, lies!
You're right.
All lies!
Right. It's hard not to feel that way, but who knows, guys? Like maybe just like any of us, $4.5 million left his account, and he was just like, "Well, I didn't even know."
I thought that was
Chase
my
called me.
DirecTV.
I spent like $800 on my truck, like getting some stuff done in it. And Chase called me saying, "Hey, we just noticed you spent $800 on your car. Do you mean to do that?"
Well, it's because you have like $900.
It's
so.
true.
Yeah.
But the big quote to come out of Shohei Ohtani's press conference yesterday is he said through his interpreter once again, he never bet on sports, and interpreter Ippei Mitsuhara stole money from him and told lies.
How about this?
By the way,
how funny would it be if Ippei Mitsuhara was still his interpreter and he had to interpret this?
It's like,
and Ippei Mitsuhara, me stole $4.5 million.
by the way,
And I told lies.
it wasn't like he used his debit card and then he saw his bank transaction. He had to wire money.
Yeah.
So you had to contact the bank at some
Routing
point.
numbers. What's the
Right.
other one that's important?
Yeah,
Maybe the account number.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's
that's the one.
some would say most important.
They're both at the bottom of the check, and he needed to know both of them,
Right.
and also have to
Right.
be there and sign the signature.
Luckily, his interpreter had a canceled check in his pocket. Well, we've been talking about it all morning. Shohei Ohtani intermittently reading off some notes for about 12 minutes in a packed LA Dodger interview room yesterday. Said he's never gambled on sports and didn't instruct his former interpreter to do so. So
I believe him.
yeah, I believe him.
Damn
I'm
it,
in.
I believe him.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. In the NFL owners have approved a rule proposal to ban the swivel hip drop tackle. The violation will result in 15-yard penalties if flagged in the game. And this year's Hall of Fame game has been announced. The Texans will kick off the 2024 NFL preseason against the Chicago Bears on August 1st. Texans and Bears is going to be awesome. Any chance that this is a force feed of Caleb Williams?
Oh, yeah,
Right.
dude.
Does he even play?
Well, he better if they're going to feature this guy. It's going to be Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, the guy who did it last year versus the guy who they're hoping does it this year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but preseason game one, they're going to play like 4 downs.
No, yeah, they probably will both play like legitimately part of the first quarter,
Right.
and then
Mhm.
that's it.
Some scores around the NBA. There was a lot of them last night. The Mavs, Duke Ellington, the Jazz, 115-105. The Spurs, like a kitten. The Suns, sorry,
Jesus, there it is.
104-102. I almost said Cowboys.
Hmm.
What thumbs down?
It was
Whatever.
it wasn't
Because
your
it
best
sucks.
Well, wait for this one. The Kings fishered the 76ers 108-96. Bird jokes. Washington Denzel the Bulls 107-105. The Pacers AMC'd the Clippers 133-116.
See the Clippers. How does that?
AMC Pacer.
Oh my God.
That was a right after the Pinto was released. AMC released the Pacer.
We get it.
The second car that had rack and pinion steering. How about that, guys? The Rockets Herbie Hancocked the Trailblazers 110-92. The Knicks lubricated the Pistons 124-99.
Your best work.
The Nets and Yahoo'd the Raptors 96-88. Atlanta did the Celtics 121-18.
Did you just say acided?
Antacid.
Antacid. It was hard for me.
Okay.
It was a stretch. That was a stretch. It
That
was a
hurt.
stretch, John Fink.
It was hard for us too.
Well, Cleve Landing stripped the Hornets 115-92.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Ew. Anyways.
He's from a different generation.
Lastly, Den verbally abused the Grizzlies 128-103.
What was the car part that you knew?
Oh no, the AMC Pacer was an
Yeah.
actual type of
No, but
car.
you said
Opinion steering.
Rack and pinion steering.
Lap.
Why?
Because you knew that.
Why wouldn't? What? Everybody knows that about the AMC Pacer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dumb.
Of course.
Anyways.
Well, the question is more about the gas station or the gas tank placement.
Oh yeah, on the
Yeah.
Pinto.
On the Pinto.
Yeah, the Pinto.
Holy
yeah, I believe
smokes.
was the Pinto also a bag? I don't remember. Maybe it's just where it was placed.
It was. Oh no.
Oh no,
It was just
race
placement.
cars
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to bags.
It was just a placement. It was too far toward the rear,
Dumb,
and so it
dumb
would
move.
ignite upon being back-ended. Which
Dude,
rumor has it.
Yeah.
That's. I mean that goes across anything you're talking about.
What could go wrong? Well, I don't know. How about the fact that kids sit in the back of cars? Yeah, but whatever.
That's a good buffer zone.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that'll catch on fire if you get back in.
By the way, there are so many fun little
Easy.
stories about. You're damn right. That's where the kids go.
back in it came in
Speaking
as
of-
a 9 seed, so it did not make the BBE.
That's right.
2024.
That's right. Okay, now we turn our attention to John Fink, our Four Corners news correspondent.
Yes, scouring the globe to find the stories you didn't know you needed to know. From the Four Corners News Desk, I'm John Fink.
It's good to have you here, John Fink.
It's great to be here.
Thank you.
I like Four Corners so much better now.
Yeah.
Well,
Solid.
Let's turn it.
Solid.
I'm happy to be.
turn the
Oh,
camera.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
There
I
we
must
go.
be on
Yeah,
camera.
there we go.
Can't work under these conditions.
Thank you. Thank you.
In honor of Women's History Month, boxing sensation Ryan Garcia extended an offer online to cover the expenses for Brazilian butt lifts and breast implants for all his female followers, expressing his solidarity and
Wow.
support for women worldwide.
Wow.
Slow clap
It's-
for Ryan Garcia.
Is he American? Yeah, American.
Yes.
I mean, that is American.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the now deleted quote, he says, "I'm giving out free BBLs and boob jobs. Hit me up. No weird stuff. Just out here supporting."
I mean, that's true.
True. I mean, this is, and also I'm bringing back Whip It Out Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
That's right. So everybody, get ready to flash me on the freeway.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Bang Wednesdays,
Wow.
everybody.
Welcome back to 2024.
Yes, Women's
God.
History Month is
Yeah.
alive and well.
Jesus.
Wait, it's not really women's. It is women's
It
history
is
month.
Women's History
March.
Month.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're done.
Just
It's
in
over.
time. Yeah. Can the asteroid get here? Try to refrain from talking about politics, but this one was pretty amazing. Fort Worth, Texas, a 7th grade math teacher, an Army veteran in Texas, has changed his name so he can run for president. His new legal name, literally anybody else. He's trying to get on the upcoming presidential ballot. The 35-year-old.
Wait, so first name literally, middle name
Anybody, last name else.
Wow.
Wow. Look, I gotta tell you, you probably win.
I mean, there's a lot of people voting for that in the
Oh,
primaries this
Oh,
year. So.
I can't.
I'm gonna
You
look
can't
at
see it. Maybe I
I'm
can
gonna-
look at this one.
the picture. He's not 78 years old, so how
No,
is he
he's
going to win
35.
office?
Oh, that's
It's
true.
true. He's 35, so he's just
Man.
over the age limit.
Big mistake.
But this is so he's a Texas. He's from Texas, but
Yes.
is he actually on the ballot for?
Well, he's already filed with the Federal Election Commission and is now working to get on state ballots as an independent candidate.
Good.
He says he understands it's a long shot to get on state ballots at this late of a date, but he hopes his word will spread to voters.
The photo he used was like his driver's
Whoa.
license photo.
I'm going to tell you, are we sure it's not a different three-letter name like John Wilkes Booth?
Yeah,
Good
that's
God,
It looks like
it's
he
very
gave
mugshot.
Wow.
Lincoln a sunroof.
he doesn't own a tie.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Well,
fantastic.
first step is running for president. Maybe an image consultant. That might be a nice thing.
Well, he spent all his $1,200 to get on the ballot.
Well, if you want to follow him, his campaign website is literallyanybodyelse.com.
Oh my God, I love this story so much.
Oh God,
it's
okay,
so
I had to
good.
look him up.
I mean, a lot of people voted for that. Literally anybody else on the primaries this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they,
Super Tuesday.
they penciled it in.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Said
they-
literally anybody else.
Okay.
So he's got a good head start.
He's got a following.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, I'm having a hard time finding his
His web
his
browser.
web browser right now.
Oh.
Yeah, so he didn't.
Web
I don't know if he
presence.
paid his Wix monthly fee. Squarespace.
GoDaddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going there. Whatever.
Well, best
Well,
of
maybe
luck,
it's available. I can grab it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Best of luck, Mr. Else.
Yeah, exactly. What else we got here, John?
What else we've got right now is a new makeup fad. Freckles are all the thing.
They are.
Apparently, I've been told.
Okay.
There are actually filters on Instagram and TikTok where people will put freckles on their face.
Across the nose kind
Yep.
of thing.
Okay. I mean, I don't have anything for or against freckles.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I'm good either way.
okay, Fletch.
Fletch,
Fletch?
what do you feel about? Oh,
thumbs up on
Fletch.
Like are freckles better?
Better than no freckles? He says
Either way.
Yeah,
He's
he's
indifferent.
He's agnostic
Yeah,
to freckles.
Freckle agnostic. I think I saw that band play at the Troubadour. Yes. So
Fraggle Rock.
Yes. It was a good band.
Fraggle show. But they say we're a band.
Fraggle Walk was a great show.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh yeah.
Solid.
The
yeah, sorry.
cave-dwelling Muppets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
That's how I got there from freckles. But go on. Sorry,
Sure.
John.
No,
Sorry, John.
I'll bring it on back onto the track here. So there is a new TikTok beauty fad about making natural-looking freckles, and they're using broccoli to do so.
Wait, what?
What?
They are spreading makeup and tinted bronzer and any kind of color thing across the broccoli flurry and then stamping it across their face
Wow.
to make it look natural.
I'm gonna.
Huh. Yeah, I got to look it up now. I'm looking up broccoli freckles.
Broccoli freckles.
Broccoli freckles.
I don't know if that's
seems
gonna mess with
it
your
seems
search
like it would
algorithm.
work. No, my search algorithm is hammered. Oh, here they are.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. Oh, for guys too?
Oh, for guys too. Oh, yes.
Huh.
One of the.
I mean, it does work. I don't know if it does anything for me. I mean, again, indifferent. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, look at this. This
Yeah.
lady
Wow.
is doing it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Oh, she's got
Did
a
you go
whole
straight to
crudité
TikTok?
plate.
I went straight to the source.
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, she's eating the
She's eating
broccoli
it?
first. I'm like shocked and appalled. She's eating raw broccoli.
shit. Yeah, well,
My God.
it's okay, Travis.
Yeah.
It can be done. I promise
Are you
you.
sure it's not poisonous?
No, I promise you.
I love how Travis's reaction was like,
Why are you-
like, "Dear Jesus, she's eating it." But when she starts applying makeup, with
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Eating it, that's a bridge too far. Can't work under these conditions eating raw broccoli.
Wow. Okay. Well, freckles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
freckles.
I mean,
might be
look
the
at-
thing.
Freckles. Broccoli freckles like up against anything in the BBE.
Yeah, what do we got
loses.
yeah. Oh, there's no question.
Right.
Probably get
Yeah.
knocked out pretty quickly.
Yeah. House to yourself over barbecue smell and barbecue smell. Which one do you like better there? You're a vegan, but do you
I
like
am,
barbecue
But I
smell?
like barbecue smell. There's like a smoky smell. That doesn't have to necessarily have animal stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that or house to yourself.
I don't know. I'm kind of an attention whore, so I kind of need somebody in the house to be like, look at this. Isn't this funny?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going with the 4-seed barbecue smell.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
going with the, I'm going
John
with
Fink,
barbecue
nicely
smell.
done. Nicely done. What else we got here?
Well,
on
finally,
Four Corners?
I wanted to give Ben Fletcher, who is apparently absent now, some
He's
flowers
on
here.
the couch.
He's
Yeah,
resting his
he's
foot.
foot in
This
the
is
air.
perfect because you know, as somebody that has fallen victim to an acorn, I think this news story will be very validating. Apparently, these acorns are out to get us. A Florida deputy has now resigned after having a suspect handcuffed and put in his patrol car, and an acorn falling out of a tree and smacking his car, and then scaring him to death, so much so that he fell over and then unloaded an entire clip.
Did anybody get shot?
Nobody got shot, thankfully.
Wait, so does he get put on leave?
He was put on leave, but the local prosecutor declined to file charges, and then he resigned out of embarrassment.
Point of clarity. So this cop heard an acorn hit his car. He jumped out of the car and opened fire on nobody for
he was next to the car, and it fell on the car, scared him so much that his legs gave out. So you can see body cam video of him going, yeah, boom, and then just taking out his gun on his side and going pow, 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 pow into nothing.
I like it. I like it. That's what I do.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think I would do the same exact thing now that I'm thinking about it.
Right.
I mean, I agree, and that's also why I'm not a cop.
Exactly.
But yes, for Ben, that's for you. The acorns are out to get us.
Foot in the air.
He raised his foot in the air. Thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
John Fink from the Four Corner Newsroom. We appreciate you, buddy.
Wow.
Nicely done.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Wow.
The best to ever do it. There's no question about it. Okay.
Meanwhile,
what do you got?
Oh, no, go ahead. On the other side.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say on the other side, it's a Taco Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday, indeed. What's spicy? What's mild?
Thoughts on rolled tacos?
Is that okay? So is it rolled taco or taquito?
I call them both. I mean, I've heard them called both.
Taquitos are elite, dude.
Taquitos
but is that a rolled taco?
Is that a rolled
Same
taco?
thing, yeah.
Same thing.
So they call them rolled tacos here and taquitos everywhere else?
I think they're the same thing.
But I've used them interchangeably. I've lived here my whole life.
Yeah.
But I felt like when we had, I can't remember her name, from the chili place. I said something about a taquito, and she's like, rolled taco.
Sea and Chili's.
Sea and Chili's, yeah.
Sea and Chili's, yeah. Actually, who, by the way, I know, I've seen her since then. I know her.
What you have?
Yeah. So she's coming back in studio. She's going to cook some food for maybe rolled tacos.
Wait, she's coming back in?
Don't you dare call them taquitos, though.
She is Maria.
Yeah.
She is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all the time. She's at like 10 different locations a day. She's out there working it. So go get some sea and chili.
Yeah, delicious hot sauces. And they are vegan, I believe, John.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Coming up next, it's a Taco Tuesday. We have the spiciest or I should say, mildest stories available for us to deliberate over. And then, of course, we're going to wrap this thing up with a couple giveaways. Social D tickets, Islands $50 giveaway as well. What do you got, Fletch?
Yeah, we're talking about how spicy you are. Yeah, off the air. John Fink is like, God, I can't keep my hands to myself.
I know.
What?
This is very confusing. I can read. Yes, here it is. We have to talk about our shrinking waistlines.
That's right.
Which, by the way, hot sauce helps because it's zero calories.
That's right.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about packing on the pounds if you're eating a whole lot of hot sauce, which is all I do now. That's what I do. No.
Yeah. Stay hydrated with hot sauce.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. All right, so if you are looking to lose weight, SDFatLoss.com is the way to do it. We all did it together. I lost 35 plus pounds. Travis over 30. Fletch approaching 50 pounds. And plus now he's going to get lighter because they're going to remove his leg after slipping on an acorn.
How much do you think his foot weighs?
It's probably like a 20-pounder foot.
That's what looks like a 20-pound foot.
Yeah, kind of like a small
small
tuna maybe.
It's got like thickness, girth right around the ankle.
Especially now with the swelling.
When they take the foot, will they go like knee down?
Okay, he wants us to wrap it up. Look, the
out.
point is, SDFatLoss.com, you're not going to have to remove your leg. They're going to help you lose the weight the natural way, the safe way. And we all did this. We all experienced the healthful way. You're going to change your lifestyle. It's not going to be one of those weight loss plans. You lose all the weight, you gain it all back. It's going to be one of those where you can maintain this the rest of your life. That's called yo-yo dieting, by the way. We are familiar because we used to do that a lot. Yeah. Terrible memories. What we're going to be doing from now on is what SD Fat Loss tells us to do, specifically Wayne and Chloe, our weight loss team, or I should say our fat loss team.
That's right.
We were super fat and now we're not. or at very least less so. The point is stfatloss.com works. So we want you to get to that website. It's stfatloss.com, stfatloss.com.
Hey, it's TD here. Now, are you all about the NBA action? Because you got to try Pick Six, the newest fantasy app from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. And check it out. Right now, new customers can earn a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 in Pick Six credits when you deposit $5 or more. So, I mean, that's just it. You deposit $5, they give you $5. You deposit 20, they give you 20. You deposit 100, they will match it $100. And now getting started is simple. Just download the DraftKings Pick Six app and sign up with code SD760. Then you're going to pick at least two players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. Like, will they score more or less than 30 points or have more or less than 8 assists? You lock them in, you compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes. And I'll tell you why I love DraftKings Pick Six. Because it's simple and fun. Look, it's no secret that I'm not the best at sports betting, but with DraftKings Pick Six, they make it easy. They make it easy to have fun. So download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and get started with code SD760. New customers can earn a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 in Pick Six credits when you deposit $5 or more only on DraftKings Pick Six with code SD760. The crown is yours. One offer per new customer, minimum $5 deposit to receive a match of up to $100 in Pick Six credits, which are non-withdrawable and valid for Pick Six use only. Expire after 180 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states. Age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Pick Six not available in all states, including but not limited to Connecticut and New York. For up-to-date list of states, visit dkng.co/pick6states. Void or prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
This update is presented by Lowe's. Starting off with the Padres this morning, they played an exhibition game against the Mariners yesterday at Petco Park. Padres lost 4-1. The home opener is going to be on Thursday, first pitch at 1:10. And if you have tickets to that game, the Padres are actually going to be hosting a watch party for San Diego State in the NCAA tournament against UConn at 4:39. In Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani speaking out yesterday saying that he never bet on sports, and his interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, stole money from him and told lies. Savings, now that's speaking the Lowe's language, and with My Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming with member-only offers. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Subject to terms and conditions. See lowes.com/terms for details.
Woo! Hang into royalty free. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We do have to do a giveaway because otherwise we're not going to have time. So we will remember. In fact, I'll tell you what. Make sure you keep it locked in here in the next 4 minutes because we're going to give you the time of when you need to call in to win those Social D tickets. Social Distortion, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, April 12th with special guest Bad Religion. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Or just keep listening for your chance to win. The John Fink fans coming out here on the stream, talking about the vegan giant. That's right. Fink is the best. He is. John Fink, very good here on Four Corners. A nice addition to our Four Corners newsroom.
He's a good man, too.
Yeah, he is a good man.
One of the sweetest human beings you'll ever come into contact with. And excellent masseuse.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, why am I on two cameras?
I don't know, but I
got
like
two cameras
multiple
pointed towards
TDs.
me.
Yeah, John Fink actually used to be like a
Don't say that fast.
what did I say?
Multiple TDs
On screen.
Yeah. Right.
At the same time.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you said it quickly, it could be a number one seed, unexpected nudity.
Yeah, but your name is TD.
This is true.
So there's multiple TDs on my screen right now.
That is true.
Because there's two camera screens pointed at you.
That is also correct.
There's so many TDs.
Yeah.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's no such thing, honestly.
Speaking of, there is spicy or mild. I guess depends on your take. We're going to get to a story here on a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday has become one of our favorites. We're not sure if it's any of our listeners' favorites, but we love the name of it. So we're going to talk through this. We're going to decide whether or not these storylines are spicy or mild, and we'll start with the NFL banning the hip drop tackle. Okay, so specifically the swivel hip drop tackle.
Okay. So if you wrap your arms around a player trying to tackle him, and you don't swivel your body, but you just drop your hip,
right?
Is that a penalty?
No. Because the swivel is an important aspect of this ban.
Okay. Are the refs going to be able to determine in real time whether or not a swivel occurred?
No.
Okay. Which that's where I feel like the story gets spicy.
Agreed. We are in consensus here. I don't know about you, Fletch, but to me, this is going to only get spicier. Now, it's got to pop on social media. People are pissed off about this. A lot of former players, a lot of current players speaking out against this. It's going to spread much further to the fan base once you actually see this rule legislated, because a team is going to lose a game on a swivel hip drop tackle this year.
Is it 15 yards?
It's 15 yards.
Like, that is a dramatic turn of events in a football game.
I'll give you an example. The 49ers are losing by a point. Okay. And all of a sudden, now this is actually, let me change it. The Rams are right now trailing by a point in a game. They've just crossed over midfield against the 49ers defense. It's a fourth down. They're not punting. They're going for it because there's only, say 39 seconds left in the game. They throw a completion to Tyler Higbee, and all of a sudden he gets swivel hip drop tackled, 15-yard penalty. The Rams kick a walk-off field goal. They win by 2 points against the 49ers midseason game. You're going to be pissed.
Someone bring me Goodell to the studio.
Wow.
Get Raj.
Are you threatening Raj right here on the air?
If it's a 15-yard penalty, I want 15 minutes with him.
We'll bring the peanut M&Ms.
Are you with him with the acorn foot, or are you healed now? Like, we're talking like June?
No, this would be like mid-season, so this would be like
that's right. You're well
dude.
healed, unless you went for another walk. I mean hike.
Potentially peg leg.
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. Can you imagine the damage that Fletch can do with a peg leg?
We've already seen the damage you could do with 2 healthy legs. Imagine one's made of wood.
Could you pop the peg leg off? I mean, it's not a fix there for forever, right?
How about this?
I mean, you could pop it off and use it as a club.
We have to move on to Shohei Ohtani now. Our second story on Taco Tuesday. He's got a line cheating, 2-time double dealing, no good gambling, thieving interpreter named Ife Mitsuhara, who is no longer in the employ of Shohei Ohtani. Never again.
No, and not UC Riverside. No, not out in Boston.
No,
not out in New York.
He was never a Yankee.
We don't even know where he came from. He just Shohei'd up somewhere.
Was that the Chevy Chase rant from Christmas Vacation?
No, it's actually from it could be part of it. I think it's like Winona Judge. Don't blame it on your lying, cheating, no good, 2-time double dealing, mean mistreating, loving hard.
Jesus. Yes, this story is spicy, and it's only going to get spicier, especially when some journalist wants to make the break of their career and exposes this for what I think it is, which is Shohei Ohtani gambling.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Very spicy to me as well.
Yeah. Again, another consensus. This has a lot on the line for everyone involved. Shohei Ohtani, Major League Baseball. Also, like you mentioned, Fletch, don't forget the media aspect. It is the job of the what do they call it in politics? Is it the fourth voice, or I forget what they call it, but like it's the job of the people to do the investigative research to keep the powers that be honest.
Checks and balances.
Well, no, it's something else.
Yeah, it's not really
a state. Is
not
that
right? Sure,
something like that.
The 11th man.
No, wow,
12th.
12th man. Are we in Seattle right now? I've gone cross-eyed. Anyways, look, the point is this is very spicy. Let's move on to the next one.
Toronto Raptors Jonte Porter under investigation for hitting the unders on prop bets. Spicy? Mild.
He sucks.
I tell you what.
His name's Jonte Porter. Like, do the test on that. Go walk around the streets and be like, do you know who Jonte Porter is?
This story, not spicy to me either. I mean, like, whatever.
No, I thought we were all going spicy on this.
Wow.
So here's the thing. I know Jonte Porter isn't a household name, but if he is guilty of what he's being blamed for, which is
then he'll just be gone. It's the opposite of the Shohei problem. Like Shohei problem is Major League Baseball is relying on him.
Major League Baseball is the cold glass of milk in this spiciness.
Do you think the NBA cares if he never plays another basketball game? The answer is no.
The
scores 1.9 points a game.
The biggest issue here is this is the first time since all of these sports gambling apps have come out, sports betting apps, where somebody's fixed the game. Like this is game fixing.
Yeah, that's true.
Allegedly.
That's right.
If he's guilty of this, that's what I said. Like if he's guilty of this is game fixing. This is one of those situations where, like, I mean, if this happens with a superstar, this is the biggest story on the planet.
Great if Jonte Porter does come out with an interpreter, but it's just English to English, and Jonte's like, "Yeah, I did it," and then the interpreter's like, "I in no way had any dealings with."
Awesome.
Another one? We got one more story I gotta get to though.
Oh yeah.
Is it spicy or not spicy? Paige Sporanic wants to star in Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, dream
Spicy,
weaver.
I believe you can get me through the night.
So I actually don't even know if this movie's happening.
Well,
there's just rumors online, and they have like the potential cast for it out there. And Sydney Sweeney is the potential bar cart girl.
Okay.
Check. Hey. Tiger Woods, the potential son, long lost son to Chubbs.
Of Chubbs?
I mean,
can Tiger act?
Doesn't matter. Check. He doesn't need to act. It's Happy Gilmore.
And then you get Happy and Shooter back.
I love how you asked if Tiger could act. No questions about Paige Sporanic. You're like, nope, she's good. Yeah, get her in.
It might be sexist. It don't matter.
Hold on.
But would Kevin Nealon make a return performance?
Oh, he's got to. He's got to. Yeah, he's got to. So Paige Sporanic would be Adam Sandler, Happy's girlfriend in the movie.
That's accurate.
There's no way he's not like, yep, sign her up. But because of her golf skills,
Do you remember the way and I forget her name, forgive me, but like his love interest in the movie,
Wasn't it Kate? What's her name?
The Volkswagen's driving onto the green to hit Happy Gilmore, and she goes, "Happy look out!" That sticks out of my head as one of the weirdest ways to deliver a line ever.
Virginia Woolf is her name in the movie.
It's Virginia Vinet. It's Julie Bowen from
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Oh my gosh, it's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm in.
I mean, like if they recast her, it'd still be fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's gonna work out.
But Paige Sporanic, spicy.
Speaking of bus,
why did you make this movement? Why did you make this movement?
That means break.
Are you sure?
We're out of time.
Okay.
We've been out of time.
We go from bus to busters.
I'm sure they'll love this. Pull this ad.
Specifically,
Busters.
Specifically
of busts.
Dave's Busters.
Yes. Listen, and speaking of large, round basketballs,
right?
You can catch all of the college basketball tournament games at Dave & Buster's in March. You can catch them all the time, actually. But in March, when there's things happening, when there's basketball games happening, you can go catch them there at Dave & Buster's. And look, you don't want to miss it because the TVs there are huge. I'm talking TVs all over the place, but then they have this whole viewing area out in Mission Valley with a 125-foot screen that we went down there and watched the Aztecs play last Thursday. Yeah. Which, man, oh man, I will be out there again. But yeah, I'd mentioned the TVs, UFC fights, baseball, basketball, football. When it's time, it's on there. Happy hour that goes from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Half price cocktails, $1 off drafts, $1 off wine glasses, and their menu is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. And they got $5 apps that you can just keep them coming just like we did. And they're great, man. You will not be disappointed. Oh, if you're military or first responder, by the way, you get 10% off all day, every day, because over at Dave & Buster's, they appreciate our military and first responders. So they're going to give you 10% off. So schedule your next event by calling them directly or visit daveandbusters.com. I mentioned the Mission Valley location. They also got one up in Carlsbad. So you're North County. You're down here in the South County, South Bay. Mid County?
It's good.
It's good. It's good. And it's good at Dave & Buster's. Hey, man, I will be out there. I'm going to head out to the Carlsbad location this weekend. Do some social, play some of the video games they got. They got new games coming in all the time. You know how I love the games, but I'll see you out there. Dave & Buster's.
Coming up next, bottom of the barrel plus Social D tickets and a $50 Islands gift card. We have to give away both. Stay tuned. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. If you want to win Social D tickets, very simple. 877-767-4760. That's 877-SORG-760. If you want to win those Social D tickets, call right now, and you will get them if you're caller number 5. It's as simple as that. We have bottom of the barrel here. Specifically,
we got to go. P. Diddy's on the run. Who do we thank?
Thank you to John Fink in the Four Corners newsroom. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Travis. Brody's Dogs, Hangers, Bangers.
Yep. Call at 877-877-767-4760 if you want that $50 Islands gift card. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, that's it.